relating to drug trafficking. CBS's Matt Gutman was there.
They pleaded not guilty. They did waive their right for a speedy trial and waive their right for bail at this point. They'll come back at the bail issue, at a later date.
The Trump administration says the capturing of Maduro was legal because it was a law enforcement operation and not an invasion. More from CBS's Caroline Polisi.
This indictment against Maduro has been out there since 2020, so he's been under indictment for 5 years. And that's really the argument that the administration is making for why this was not an act of war.
Trump administration officials are on Capitol Hill briefing key members of Congress about the strike on Venezuela. Heading into the meeting, House Speaker Mike Johnson defended the actions of President Trump.
Our understanding and my appreciation of this entire thing is it was completely authorized by law. It's well within Article 2. And now we're getting our Article 1 briefing exactly on the timetable as these are anticipated.
The Trump administration has taken the unprecedented step of dropping the number of vaccines the government recommends for every child. The president on social media says the schedule is rooted in the gold standard of science. But CBS's Cammie McCormick reports many health experts are reacting angrily.
I never thought I'd have to say this in my lifetime, but don't listen to the CDC.
Dr. Jason Goldman of the American College of Physicians is among many who believe the move will increase the confusion for parents.
The vaccine schedule has always been guidelines and recommendations. Every individual always had a choice if they wanted to listen to their doctor and listen to evidence or science. That was never in question.
He believes the decision will lead to a resurgence in preventable diseases.
The fraud investigations by feds expands in Minneapolis. CBS's Nicole Skenga is there and explains.
CBS News exclusively reported today that as many as 2,000 agents from Homeland Security Investigations and ICE will be arriving to the Minneapolis area this week to continue what they call a dual-pronged immigration enforcement operation and fraud probe.
Less than 4 months after he announced his re-election campaign, Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has ended his bid for a third term.
I've decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year.
Sources close to Democratic U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota tell CBS News she's getting outreach encouraging her to run, but that she has not made a final decision. Stocks closed up on Wall Street today. The Dow closed up 594 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, Seattle's police union says it has a new directive from their police chief. We'll explain after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, this report brought to us by the Emerald Queen Casino. Good news in Seattle, all lanes just reopened heading into SoDo. That includes all westbound 90 lanes at I-5 and your South 5 exits to 4th Avenue South. Out in Sammamish, we have a new crash, though. Westbound 90 at Lake Sammamish Parkway is blocking the HOV lane. First responders are also blocking the HOV lane in the eastbound direction. We've got about half mile to a mile backups right now. In Kitsap County, southbound 3 Chico Way, a crash blocks the left lane. You're backed up bumper to bumper approaching Newberry Hill Road. That's a 3-mile solid backup. Otherwise, we're just seeing typical mid-afternoon backups forming in all the usual places. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC February 6th, only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Seattle Police Union says it has new orders from the police chief. SPOC President Mike Solon tells the Jason Rand Show on Seattle Red, officers are being told not to arrest people for public drug use or possession and instead divert them into treatment programs.
Whether or not this touches the mayor's office, I do not know, but I know this comes from Chief Barnes via the city attorney's office.
Mayor Katie Wilson says she has not announced a policy change, and the mayor will join John Curley next to discuss. A judge has ordered the man accused of carjacking a state patrol trooper on Christmas Day to undergo a mental evaluation. Alexander Smith was in court today facing multiple charges, including robbery and attempting to elude police. More from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
Smith's arraignment did not continue because of the competency evaluation requested. Shortly after Christmas, we learned in the crash report that the suspect, Smith, admitted to troopers he had smoked meth before everything that happened. His next court date is January 26th.
In Pierce County today.
One at gunpoint. Get on the ground right now.
State troopers and deputies say they arrested a 17-year-old boy and a 19-year-old man in Roy driving a stolen car with several guns inside. Investigators say the two are responsible for an armed home burglary early yesterday. Less than a month now, Seattle School District will have its new superintendent. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun.
Superintendent Ben Scholdinger has a lot of plans, including going through the budget with a fine-tooth comb and exploring the possibility of metal detectors.
How can you send your child to a school district if you don't feel your child's going to be safe?
Safety is a major part of his plan as new superintendent.
Former Seahawks coach Pete Carroll is out of a job. The Las Vegas Raiders confirm he's been let go as their head coach. Team finished dead last in the NFL this season. Carroll was the coach for the Seahawks for 13 years until 2023. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are looking at cloudy skies right now, but drying out after a soggy morning. We'll see rainy and windy conditions return tomorrow, along with mountain snow. Right now, 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension.
A lot of pressure.
A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight.
Hey, we got the mayor coming on.
Of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and
democracy,
of things and
rat hole.
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Someone's been playing with the editing machine. Here we go with the John Curley Show, diving right in the news. There we go. Gonna forego all the normal nonsense. Get right to it. We got the mayor coming on. Joe, the AI machine has written a song for Katie Wilson.
Transit Riders Union to the big desk, City Hall. 2,000 hearts behind her pushed her up that wall.
Nice. Show busy.
Clipboards, cold rain, late nights, every doorbell, every call. Now her name's on every hallway, lettering 10 feet tall. Mayor Katie Wilson, take that chair. Seattle's crying out, we're halfway there. From the crowded roads to the marbled hall. Katie Wilson! Make this city for all.
Oh my God, Joe! I smell Tony Award. Big finish.
Mayor Wilson, Seattle needs a lot of help.
That was amazing.
Wow, that's the way it finishes? All right, well, here you are, Miss Mayor, Madam Mayor of Seattle. Let's take care of the big news. So this thing's now swirled up. Now National News has picked this up. Set this up for us. So the question is, they said, okay, there's not been a policy change. You said a policy change. They were talking about the police arresting people that are openly doing drugs in the Seattle. Clean all this up. Get the word in on this one.
Well, I'll just say, first of all, I think this whole episode has taught me even more than I already learned during the campaign about the power of a rumor. So I have heard some wild things about what I have said or what I believe. And this is another example where I woke up this morning to the news that apparently my office had issued a new directive, and we definitely did no such thing. So I think the lesson for people listening or watching is, think twice before you believe what you see and what you hear. There's been no policy change. There was an email from Police Chief Barnes internally, which I think was misinterpreted, but the policy remains what it has been, which is we have an ordinance in Seattle around drug use and possession, and currently officers basically use their discretion around when it's appropriate to do an arrest. we have award-winning diversion programs, and those can be invoked before an arrest, before a booking, before a trial. And really, the bottom line comes down to we're looking for an approach which is using the right strategy in the right circumstances, and that is making sure that we are getting people the help that they need. And there's a lot of different situations out there, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach. So that's what we're trying to get to. But we have not made any change in policy. We have not discussed any change in policy, and that's where things are at. Okay, because
the question was when it comes to what are the priority situations. I said this. So this is from Luke Ducey, a reporter here. He says, so in your statement, you said you were enforcing drug use and possession according to priority situations. Priority situations, I assume, if the person's also carrying a gun, if they have prior felonies, things like that. Is that what you mean by priority situations?
Well, those would certainly be examples, but I think more broadly, right, we have hot spots in certain neighborhoods in Seattle, including downtown, including around 12th and Jackson, where we have a lot of open-air drug use, drug dealing, often other illicit activity that goes with that. And that's something that we just have to do better on, right? And so there is obviously a police and law enforcement aspect to that at the same time as we're trying to get people into treatment, into shelter and housing if they're homeless. And so, those hotspot situations are definitely priorities. And I think it's really a question of what is the approach that's going to get us where we need to go. And we also know that just arresting everyone and dumping them in jail is also not a successful approach. So it's really a nuanced thing where our police department needs to work closely with service providers, with our diversion program, and try to get people into a better situation and make sure those hotspots don't form, because we know that impacts the quality of life for the neighborhoods, for small businesses, for residents, for all of us.
Yeah, I got it. So you have the LEAD program, which basically you're saying that the police officers, it's up to their discretion. They go up to the guy, he's smoking fentanyl, he's in the streets. It's up to the police officer as to whether or not he wants to, send him to the LEAD program or arrest him?
Basically, right? And so I think this is a matter of really working with our police department, with the officers, and we need to come up with that kind of culture and protocol so that officers are able to make a good judgment on the ground about the appropriate response.
I see. Okay, so then if the cop says, okay, I'm going to send you to the LEAD program, and I don't know if you get into are you into the sort of the nuts and bolts of the whole thing? He says, okay, I'm not going to arrest you, don't smoke fentanyl, here's the number, call LEAD, and then I assume, or LEAD, he doesn't book the guy, so then LEAD gets his name, then the LEAD has to go find the guy, and then the people from LEAD then have to get him to come to court, get the person to then sign up for the program, right? And then get them to go through it all. Have you dug into all this? Because this is a major, major issue in the city of Seattle. Have you had a chance to dig in on it?
Yeah, we're digging in. LEAD is a nationally recognized evidence-based program. It doesn't necessarily work for every individual, but my administration is going to be really focused on getting results on the ground. So we are digging in, and we're going to be improving our approach as we go forward, right? I know that we don't have all the answers off the bat, so it's a matter of evaluating what we're doing, what's working, what's not working. Let's do more of what's working, and if everything's not working, let's try some new things. So that's the approach that we're going to be taking, and hopefully that people will be seeing results on the ground.
Okay, so lesson learned is rumors fly around pretty fast, and then Katie Wilson has to hurry up and go, no, that's not what I said. This is what I said. If there's any question, you can call me and get a better idea of what it is. Here's sort of a, do you think there's people out there that are intentionally, and this is just pure speculation on my part and possibly yours if you want to answer this, there's people under there going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send this email out to the media. I'm going to send this email out just, to kind of let her know, we can make stuff happen, make a little trouble for her. We can slip stuff out there and get things out to the media. And you got to put a fire out a little sooner. Because that's something that you learn on the job, unfortunately, if you're new at it. You start to realize, oh, my God, I got to try to control all this in all these departments, and somebody might be et tu brute with the old knife in the back.
Are you asking me to comment on that?
You don't have to. Look, I got a question for you. What did you tell your kid when you became mayor? Does your child possibly understand why mom's not home all the time?
I mean, my kid is not yet 2.5 years old, so she has like some vague conception of what's going on, but filter that through the mind of a toddler.
Right.
But she, I think she had fun at my inauguration the other day, and she's in daycare, and I'm going to make sure that I still get time to see her. That's important.
How has your life changed specifically when it comes to hours? What time did Katie Wilson wake up prior to running for mayor? And what's your life like now? What do you do?
I mean, I'll say that on the campaign trail this year, when I was still, working my full-time job and campaigning for office and being a mom, that was pretty busy. So I wouldn't say that I'm more busy now than I was then, but I'm a person who always keeps pretty busy. So, I don't mind getting up early and getting to work. And also, I do like to get my sleep, right? I think it's really important to function at a high level. You need to put in some hours in bed. So I try to make sure that happens too.
Are you still living in the same apartment?
For now, yes.
Wow, you moving up to the east side to the deluxe apartment in the sky?
Not at the moment. I like where we live.
Okay, all right. You and I could be more diametrically opposed in our philosophy of government. But here's what I really appreciate about you, Katie Wilson. One, I mean, the chutzpah, without mentioning genitalia normally attributed to men, to decide I'm going to run for mayor. And then all the work you put into the thing. And then, for God's sake, you win, right? And I watched you give your speech the other day, and I could see that you weren't just rolling through the teleprompter. There was a moment, I can't remember off the top of my head, where I saw the expression on your face change significantly because I felt that you felt the words that you were saying. And I can't remember where it was. You may remember. And I thought, this woman is completely committed to her philosophy, which I disagree with. But I really love the fact that you're going all in on it, right? And I hope for your sake, because I think you've got a good soul. I think this is going to be a very rocky road for you. And are you started to feel the weight of it all? And how do you not, two-part question, and how does it not personally begin to really eat away at you?
Well, I'm just starting on the job, so I'm not feeling jaded and cynical yet. I'm full of hope for what we can accomplish. I will say that, I officially became mayor at midnight on December 31st. And I think the thing that really hit home to me after that moment was all of the city's problems are now my problems.
Yes, yes.
And so that, there is a weight to that responsibility where, obviously there's limits to what you control as mayor, to what you can do. But everyone kind of looks at you as the person in charge who's ultimately responsible. And, fair or not, that is what it is. And really, you do have a lot more power probably than any other single individual to pull the levers that can be pulled at this city to improve people's quality of life or not, right? And that is a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And, so I think it's, knowing that I have ambitious plans and, want to tackle the affordability crisis, want to make real progress on homelessness, public safety, and, just knowing that there's going to be obstacles and there's going to be frustration that we're not able to do everything all at once as fast as we want to.
Yeah.
But we're going to give the old college try. And I think it's a team effort, right? I think that's another thing that's really important to me is that solutions to these problems, I'm going to do as much as I can from the mayor's office, but it's really going to require everyone around the city to pull together, the business community, working with other levels of government, community groups, we all have a part to play. And so that's something that I really want to make good on and to just make sure that even when we come up against obstacles, people realize that we're in it together and, doing the best we can.
Katie, during the speech that you gave, the thing that got the biggest applause, the same thing when Mondani was speaking in New York, was basically taxing the rich, making the rich pay their fair share. So on a personal level, I make almost $1 million. How much do I owe? And should I be allowed to continue to make that? Do I have a moral obligation to give that money away?
For me, it's really looking at the big picture, right? And here in Washington,
no, to me, Katie, if next year I should make $1 million, do I have a moral obligation? Have I made too much?
Do you think you deserve $1 million, John?
That's up to me, isn't it? Do I want somebody else to make the decision whether I deserve it or not? I don't think you want to get into that, do you?
I mean, look, taxes are how we pay for the things that we can only do together, right? And there are so many things, from our roads and our bridges to, affordable housing. Like, there's so many things where we need to pull together and fund these things, and the private market's not going to provide it by itself. Even a libertarian like you, I think, has to agree with a little bit of that.
Oh, I do.
And
I do. It's when I hear people screaming about taxing the rich, and your first response is, do you deserve it? I mean, that's no business of you. I know, you're kidding. I hope you're kidding, because it's really no business of the government whether I deserve, unless I was stealing it directly from somebody. Then the government has a right to come in and say, you don't deserve it because ill-begotten gains, you've stolen it for somebody. But that's the thing that the thing you need to do, I sense, is that the number one thing that the city needs to do is make sure it has a large tax base. So it has to retain the businesses and the people. And what I'm hearing from so many friends that also do well, whether they deserve it or not, is that they're like, we need to know that she is not out to get us, that they're not out to eat the rich. They're not out to tax the rich. They have to realize that we're essential to this city, and we don't want to feel like people are coming after us, Katie.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, and I think this was reflected in the way that I talked about these issues during the campaign, it's not like a moral thing per se, where like, oh, rich people are bad people. That's not it at all, right? It really is at looking at our tax system. And here in Washington State, we have the second most regressive tax system in the country. And what that means is that working and poor people, lower income brackets, right, are paying far more of their income in state and local taxes than the wealthiest. And so it's not like a moral thing. It's like, where are we getting the money that we need to fund these common goods? And right now we're getting it by squeezing the people who have the least, who are already struggling. And that hurts us all, right? Because then that means that, people who are making the least are also relying on social services because they're not making enough to afford their rent. So it's really about like, what is that good situation we can get to? And it's not like this, eat the rich moral thing, but it's like, what do we got to do to rebalance that? And so that's, when I talk about taxing the rich, that's really what it's about. And yeah, we're going to have to do some of that. And also we got to make sure that we're spending the money that we are raising through taxes as well as possible, because people need to have that trust in their government. And if they don't, then that's when we really run into problems, when people are like, well, I'm paying all these taxes, but like, what am I actually getting for it?
Right, exactly. Because that's two parts of the equation run is the money coming in, the money going out. And listen, it's unfair for me to ask. You've only been in there for 84 hours or something. But
I haven't solved all the problems yet, John.
I solve all the problems. Get out the magic wand. Here's what I want to do. I so much appreciate the fact that Katie Wilson, who, by the way, I endorse, and they're still giving me crap for it here at KIRO Radio because they think that I'm the reason you won. I don't have that much power. I think a lot of it has to do with the people that were dissatisfied with the direction of the city. They're putting all their hopes and dreams in you, Katie Wilson. I'll let you get to work, but hopefully we can continue this conversation again. Then I can make even more money, and if I continue to deserve it. I'm taking you out with your Broadway show too one more time. Katie, thanks for coming on. Thanks for clearing up the story, and let us know of more breaks regarding the policy during lead and arresting people doing drugs in the city of Seattle. Okay.
Thank you, John. Great to talk to you.
You too.
Whether or not they ever turn into careers.
There we go. There's Katie's out. That's her other story. Bye, Katie Wilson, our player out with this song right here. Joe, this is certainly a Tony Award-winning song right here. I think she's going to appreciate it. There we go.
From the crowded routes to the marbled hall, Katie Wilson to make this city for all.
There she goes. Bye, Katie. Thank you. What's the last part of it? Seattle needs a lot of help. All right. We're time crunching on this stuff, Joe.
I know.
Thank them very much. Send them a text. Tell them we'd like to continue the conversation again. Maybe it's a weekly thing like they do with Coach McDonald.
Good luck with that.
All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
This one brought to us by Northwest Hope and Healing. Kitsap County, our collision southbound 3 at Chico Way has been cleared. You're left with a 2-mile bumper-to-bumper backup starting near Anderson Hill Road. Out in Sammamish, we also cleared a collision westbound 90 there at Westlake Sammamish Parkway. It's on your right shoulder, so traffic still jams up briefly at the scene. Southbound 405 now stop and go between South Bellevue and the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton's at 20 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, Seattle to Everett are both at 45 minutes. minutes. South 5 heading into Seattle jams up on the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, though, looking good at just 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, plan on 35 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is up to 45 minutes. And really, the rest of our major routes are looking pretty good. Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Support. An afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration. Get your tickets now for January 31st at nwhopeandhealing.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And so we are set.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game. A single-season franchise record of 14 wins. The fourth number one seed in franchise history.
Reaction.
Just incredibly proud of him.
Conversation.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com. And the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife make their first court appearance today in New York after their dramatic capture over the weekend by U.S. forces. CBS's Jared Hill is outside that federal courthouse.
In shackles and prison garb, deposed Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro appeared in Manhattan federal court. "I'm innocent. I am not guilty. I am a decent man," he said through an interpreter, adding, "I am the constitutional president of my country." Sitting with his wife, Celia Flores, they each pleaded not guilty to 4 federal charges, including conspiracy to import cocaine and machine guns and conspiracy to commit narco-terrorism.
Their next court date is in March. Harsh words today from the president of the American College of Physicians over new vaccine recommendations for children.
I never thought I'd have to say this in my lifetime, but don't listen to the CDC.
That is Dr. Jason Goldman after federal health officials revised their vaccine recommendations for the first time in decades. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says it focuses on the most critical shots while leaving others like the flu and hepatitis up to families to decide. Kennedy calls the change a way to rebuild trust. A pilot is suing Boeing for $10 million over that infamous door plug blowout 2 years ago today. More from KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
Brandon Fisher accuses the company, along with Spirit Aerosystems, of causing this mid-air blowout after manufacturing failures and missing hardware. He also claims that Boeing made statements that unfairly shifted the blame onto the flight crew. The complaint was filed a few days ago in an Oregon court, nearly 2 years after the tragic incident. 4 passengers were hurt, but they all made it to the ground safely.
No comment from Boeing, which also recently bought Spirit Aerosystems. Winter storm is set to blow through western Washington overnight. National Weather Service meteorologist Kayla Mazurkowitz says it'll be windy in the greater Seattle area.
We're seeing, gusts up to 40, 45 miles per hour, and especially in those wind advisory areas like western Whatcom County and Whidbey Island, we could see gusts up to 50 miles an hour.
Storm is also forecast to bring up to 4 feet of snow in parts of the mountains. Winter storm warning is in effect from 4 a.m. Tuesday until 4 p.m. Thursday. That takes us to 3:33. We have Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's see. Westbound 90 heading into the Mount Baker Tunnel. We've got a disabled vehicle blocking your left general purpose lane. Otherwise, our lake bridges are wide open. Southbound 405 is filling in between South Bellevue and the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 25 minutes. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett, 45 to 50 minutes apiece. I-5 is solid from the U District into Linwood, but you're close to freeway speeds here. Same story on the east side. 405 is solid between 520 and 527 in Canyon Park. South 5 heading into Seattle now jams up approaching the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is 35 minutes, getting pretty heavy along South Center, and that carries you down to about south to 70th. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute drive. Tacoma to Olympia looking great this afternoon at just 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are looking at cloudy skies, but mostly dry for the rest of tonight. Again, it'll turn windy overnight, rainy also for tomorrow, and mountain snow is on the way. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Ooh, I thank you. No, really? Who's paying the bills?
No one yet.
John Curley Show, 1-888-973-5476. You're like, oh, you went too easy on her. We had Katie Wilson, the new mayor of Seattle, on. And she made news, whether she wanted to or not, with the comments that she or somebody had put out that they were changing, that there was going to be a change in the policy regarding when the police are going to arrest people that are on drugs, right? So it started locally and then nationally they picked it up as well. So Katie Wilson wanted to come on and say that they're not going to make, there's no changes. They're not going to making a policy change. She said
no changes yet.
No changes yet, right. But apparently, was it some people in the police department or Barnes said, and then also was something Solon said that
she mentioned some internal memo that went to the police department.
Right.
She didn't say exactly what it said, but that's what We Heart Seattle and Ari Hoffman had picked up, and they put out that they're going to stop arresting people for drug use, which I didn't think they have been arresting people for drug use for a very long time.
Right, they don't.
It's going to move them around.
Right, so she just wanted to put that little fire out and say, no, we haven't changed the policy. They're still heading towards the lead. Lead is the direction they still want to go, which is leading. What is the ridiculous thing it stands for? Is LEAD. I know dignity is the end of it. Do you remember what it is?
Law enforcement assisted diversion. But you had a more fun one. But
no, the other one was something about leading with dignity or whatever. Yeah. So listen, the reason I beat her up over the thing is because look, I could tell. You get in there, imagine being in there for like 6 days or something, and all of a sudden somebody throws all these numbers at you as to, well, you're spending $10 million and only 625 people have gone through the program, and of those only 25 people actually, you bury the individual with that stuff. She won't talk to us again, right? It's easy for me to do 2-3 hours of research and then drop a nuclear bomb on somebody you're interviewing, and then the person's like, forget it, they're never going to come on the radio again. I'm not going to do that to her. What I want to do is just let her give her thought, get her comment about we haven't changed the policy, and we're going to continue to work on that stuff. Right. So that's it, right? And then the philosophical things, I'd love to have more time with her to talk about. She was a philosophy major, so I was going to ask her about, like, what philosopher do you most relate to? Is it Marx? Is it Kant? Right? Is it Nietzsche? Like, where's the philosophy of it? Because you can tell more about an individual, especially if they're smart. She went to Oxford. She didn't graduate, but heck, she got in there, and she was in there. Like, I don't want to get into the data details.
Well,
bury the person. Well, 14%. Where are you getting that? We're only 7%. This stuff gets, you get in the weeds so fast. You don't really learn anything. You just get a lot of bug bites in the weeds.
You got 4 more years ahead of you. Plenty of time to duke it out. She does. Right. Luke Ducey, who gave us a couple questions asked, just responded saying, interesting, she absolutely spelled out a new direction, policy, guidelines, whatever we want to call it, by saying when it comes to officer discretion, they are working on sorting that out and how that interaction will work and how a cop will respond. So clearly there's a directive to do it differently. But again, I thought for the past 2 years they've been,
It is the officer's discretion.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. Most of these times these are bike cops who do this because they know all those guys. They see them smoking fentanyl. Do they do it? Do they stop? Most of them, blah, blah. Unless they know that there is a charge out for the guy. So then they get him, they stop him. They run a felony on him, they run a background, they find out, that he just hit somebody over the head or whatever. They're going to go get that guy, right? But just plain going up and getting somebody who's smoking fentanyl in the streets of Seattle, they don't.
No.
And if they do give them the lead thing, okay, I'm going to get your name. I'm going to, I can take you in right now, or I can send you off to lead. Guys, send me to lead. So the numbers on lead suck. They haven't really done a big audit on it. And the question later on, when Katie gets an opportunity to get her feet under her and maybe we get somebody else to come on it, you're spending $10 million. You spend $10 million, and now you got $10 million to spend. And with the $10 million, the number of cases that actually, and they don't have a metric to determine whether or not the person was on the street smoking fentanyl, got picked up off the street, went to the lead program, is no longer addicted to fentanyl, is no longer smoking drugs on the street, is now a productive member of society, or is no longer addicted. They have the numbers? No, they don't have the numbers. They can't. They don't track it. So what do? We gave the guy the thing to go to lead. He went to lead. Of the 215 cases, half of them didn't show up in court, didn't follow through on that sort of stuff. That's the giant hole. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop the person from getting picked up on the street and sent to jail, because the cost of that is $386 a day plus $296 for booking fee, which is $682 a day, or about $500 and some a day to got the person in jail. So they said we'd rather, give them the lead program. But what happens? Like, do they come out of it? And most of the cops I've spoken to know that the program is a joke. So they don't even bother doing it because they're going to see the guy back out there again. And that's the problem with it. And the fact that they haven't really done a real big metric audit on the thing, an external affair of it, bring someone else in that's not directly involved in it and have them look at it. How much are you spending? How many people don't, get off of drugs? Is that ultimately what the end result is? That's the real metric you have to have. They don't have that.
Well, when's the last time the city attorney prosecuted somebody for possession of drugs or using drugs?
I'm glad you asked. 2025 drug prosecutions increased from January to July. They doubled the number of cases compared to 2024. This is under Ann Davidson. But they put them in the program, but then how many people actually end up no longer addicted to drugs? One of the metrics they use is the person has not been rearrested. Whoopie-doo! That doesn't mean they're not still smoking drugs, still doing drugs. That means the cops haven't rearrested them. Why? Because it's up to the discretion of the cops. There's so many holes in the program.
Right. And if the marching order was to arrest people smoking fentanyl or doing any other hard drugs, they could go to 12th and Jackson and sit there and arrest them all day. They know where they are. So if the mandate was to arrest them, why wouldn't they be arresting them all day long?
Right, because the cost is
$386
plus $296. The person's going to go in, doesn't really help them. They go back out again. So the same thing happened in Portland, right? It was proposition of which one was 110 or something. The people of Portland said, yes, we don't want you to criminalize smoking drugs and doing drugs. So they decriminalized it, and overdoses went up, and crime went up, and homelessness shot up. So then after 2 years or 3 years, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Now we want you to try to start to criminalize it. But the problem is you go around and arrest all those guys, you get no place to put them all. So they just look the other way and just go the other way unless the person has got a big, felony warrant out or a bench warrant out for them. There's just too many of them.
Right.
You're never going to catch them all.
And if they're not going to prosecute them anyway, then...
Right. But somebody needs to look into the LEAD program, But listen, I'm not going to get her on if people are mad, when you ask about this or that. Like, I got 14 minutes. And you don't want to ask the person something they've talked about for the last 2 years because you're going to get them on the hard drive and they're going to just spin out 25 seconds of stuff they've talked about before. This is we're trying to open a form of communication that has previously not been explored. That's where a politician in Seattle or in Washington, other than Jim Walsh and a few others we have, care to go on a show that is primarily driven by conservative or libertarian point of view. We have been just out in the cold. So now we've got somebody, Katie Wilson. I respect the fact that she had the chutzpah to run, and she won. You know what? This is what the people wanted. This is what the people are going to get. That's all. I thought it was her first response on, should I make $1 million? Would you deserve it? Now, here's the question, Joe. Was she kidding, or is that her first response, and there wasn't any humor involved?
Whew. I don't know. It came pretty naturally.
She is funny. She does like to joke around with me.
True.
So anyway, there will be more, part 2. So those of you that are all, why didn't you nail it? Why is it we have to make every dumb person sound like they don't have a tongue? That's not fair. No. Listen how Nate talks.
Ouch.
Nathan.
This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino out in Jefferson County, westbound 104 near Center Road. A collision blocks that westbound lane. So this is affecting eastbound traffic as well. I'm guessing you're probably alternating. This is at milepost 3, right near the Highway 101 interchange. We already cleared our stall westbound 90 heading into the Mount Baker Tunnel. It's left you with a brief backup from West Mercer to Mid-Spam. South 405 is solid from Mid-Bellevue to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton's at 25 minutes. South 5 heading into Seattle looking pretty good. You're going to eventually jam warm up as you approach the Ship Canal Bridge into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, just 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, a 35-minute commute. You're slow from Interurban Avenue down to State Route 516. Heading through Puyallup, westbound 512. It's stop and go from State Route 167 over to Canyon Road. As far as I can tell, this is just volume, no blocking issues. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC February 6th, only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You want to get organized. You want to reduce the stress in your family and the house, and everything's got a place. You're putting away those Christmas decorations, the holiday decorations going away. Are they just being jammed into some closet somewhere that you're hoping you'll be able to find them again next year? If you want to get organized, you've got to get Closets by Design. I don't know how many months ago it was, 6-7 months ago. They came out to the barn in Cleellum, and man, they did an amazing job. Talk about customized. They looked around, the nice designer there from Closets by Design. She came up with ideas we hadn't even thought about, like in the garage, the whole row of cabinets. And then she said, hey, what do you do with all the extra towels from the wedding business? I said, oh, they're in a box. She goes, how about we build cabinets in the laundry room? I'm telling you, it was absolutely customized. I love the fact that Closets by Design will give you big savings as well. 40% off plus an additional 15% off, 18 months financing and free installation. When it comes to having customized, there's a whole bunch of different closet companies out there. But Closets by Design, which is locally owned, family run for 23 years, they're the only ones to call. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
And so we are set.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game. A single-season franchise record of 14 wins. The fourth #1 seed in franchise history.
Reaction.
Just incredibly proud of him.
Conversation.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com and the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
One 973-547-6. The John Curley Show. What do you have in here, Joe?
Oh, take a good look.
Enjoying the last look. Oh, yeah.
This is it.
Even Kathy came downstairs to take a look at my face.
Soak it in.
And then Brian wrote, hey, congratulations on, was it 14 or 16 years at KIRO or something like that?
I think she said 15.
Oh, I thought it was longer. Feels longer. And I said, if I get a new face, will it reset the time and do I have to start over again? All right, folks. This is the thing that's bugging me. See this right here? Those of you, see that stuff? Look at that. See that? All this section. I don't need this.
The turkey
I don't need this.
Gobbler.
What happened was I used to say to my son would grab it when he goes, Dad, what's that for? And I go, oh, that's if I need to look up at birds, I need that extra skin. And he's like, looks like you've been looking at a lot of birds recently because I had that. That's when he was younger.
Yeah.
So all it is, thank you, Dr. Stern. Boy, this better work out or that guy's going to be out of business.
I know.
Just that. See that? See that? That's it. That's going to be me wow, without having my hands back there. There we go.
And you go in tomorrow.
I went in tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We're going to take video of it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's just lower face. That's it. And instead of that, I can get rid of this beard. Get rid of the beard to cover. Oh, shush.
Come on.
Oh, quiet, mother.
The beard is good.
That's it. And we're like, oh, I can't believe you're going to get this done. Don't. I'm like, this is it. That's all. And the extra skin, I'm going to donate it.
Locks of love.
Yes. There you go. Kids that didn't want to get a circumcision. Got forced to get one from their parents. Remember that guy that sued his parents?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So right there, there's a little something for you. A little more than you need right there. Who needs one, huh? Who's got some problems?
Oh, my God.
Oh, well, come on now, everybody. Don't worry about it.
Are you nervous?
Only because, you got to go under surgery, right? And
you had an EKG last week to see.
That's fine.
Okay, so you're good.
That's good. I'm in great health. Thank you, Longevity Medical Clinic. And then they did the whole blood test. Then you got to wait. When you wake up from the thing, you're like, I love you. You're saying weird things to everybody.
That's what's the most important thing to video check is that.
100%.
Oh, the coming out?
Yes. Coming out of...
Last time I did that, I was coming out of a knee surgery, and I was talking about Tom or something like that.
I don't think I was here for that.
Yeah. And then I was so sad, I got divorced. I didn't have everybody. So I had to get Pete, the PD to pick me up. How pathetic's that? I mean, talking about you have no friends. Pete's like, really? You need me to come pick you up? I didn't want me to go home with Uber. Boy, was that awkward in the car. Because I was kind of just still high. I'm like, you're like my only friend, Pete. I hope they don't fire you. Oh, well. Huh? That's a new low, isn't it? Thank you.
I had to pick you up from your stem cells.
Oh, I mean, it's quiet now. I got other friends. Here's Nate checking traffic. Everybody getting picked up by somebody. Nate?
Yep, not a bad commute for most. Just typical afternoon backups forming. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both 50-minute commutes. North 5, you're going to slow from Lake City Way through Linwood. North 405, pretty solid now between Kirkland and Alderwood with a nice little break there in Canyon Park. The drive through Everett's looking good this afternoon in both directions. North 5 slows just a bit between Lowell Road and 41st, and eastbound on the Boeing Freeway slows for a couple miles approaching I-5, but all these slowdowns are close to freeway speed so far. South 405 is solid from mid-Bellevue to the VMAC, Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. South 5 into Seattle looking pretty good. You'll jam up approaching the Ship Canal Bridge down to I-90. Seattle to Federal Way about 35 minutes. And we're seeing building volumes through Puyallup, westbound 512, coming off the Valley Freeway over to Canyon Road. This is just volume. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This is your city.
Seattle voters have spoken, and they wanted change.
Wilson really resonated, especially with some younger voters.
On the terms of working people, make it work for them.
Katie Wilson is just actually not afraid to say she's a socialist.
What challenges does the political newcomer face once taking office?
Never having any managerial experience.
Stay with KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com for the latest.
Change takes time, and we don't give it time.
And the KIRO News Radio app.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Did you know 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Jake Skorheim here. When hot air rises, if your attic isn't properly insulated, that hot air is going to go right through your ceiling and out your old roof. That sounds cold and expensive. So if your furnace is working overtime, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Just call 206 Roofing, and remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
At Skyline Seattle, senior living never sounded so good. We celebrate the arts and are building enviable cultural partnerships like the Ballardet Quartet from the Seattle Chamber Music Society and the Seattle Art Museum. We provide our residents all the energy Seattle offers. Make your home at Seattle's only true life care community. Culture has an address. Skyline. Discover it all at skylineseattle.org.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has appeared in court in New York, where he and his wife have pleaded not guilty to federal drug trafficking and other charges. CBS's Cammie McCormick reports.
Outside the courthouse in New York, some Venezuelans celebrated.
I'm feeling very, very happy, very, very excited. I want to go back. This is my dream.
Inside, Maduro declared himself an innocent and decent man. The legal proceeding will likely kick off a protracted fight over whether he can be put on trial in the U.S.
He's obviously a flight risk. He's not making bail.
Both Maduro and his wife agreed to remain detained for now. Legal contributor Caroline Polisi.
If he gets convicted on all 4 counts, you're looking at 30, 40 years to life.
His next court appearance will be in March.
Sources tell CBS News that oil companies plan to meet with the Trump administration on Venezuela. CBS's Ed O'Keefe with more on that.
We know now that representatives of Exxon, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips are expected to meet at least with the Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, possibly as soon as Thursday, to discuss how exactly American energy firms might begin the process of tapping back into those Venezuelan reserves, however much may be down there.
And also, in an overhaul of childhood vaccines, the CDC drops the number it recommends for every child. WSB's Sabrina Cupid.
When it comes to recommendations for vaccination against RSV, meningococcal disease, hepatitis B, and hepatitis A, those are recommended for high-risk individuals. When it comes to flu, COVID-19, and rotavirus vaccinations, that'll be left up to parents and doctors to decide.
Dr. Jason Goldman is president of the American College of Physicians and is among those concerned about the changes.
I suspect this is going to have generational impact on the children and health of our country, because we are going to see a resurgence of diseases that we haven't had to deal with.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz ends his re-election campaign. The two-term Democrat and former vice presidential candidate has faced scrutiny in the last several months over his handling of allegations of fraud in the state's social service programs.
We should be concerned about fraud in our state government. We cannot effectively deliver programs and services if we can't earn the public's trust.
A new study suggests schools' smartphone bans and restrictions may not be working. Jason Nagata is a professor of pediatrics at the University of California, San Francisco.
Our study shows that teens spend more than an hour on smartphones during the school day, mostly on social media and video, highlighting the need for evidence-based school phone policies.
Stocks closed up on Wall Street today. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Coming up, Seattle's mayor looks to clarify the city's drug enforcement policy. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Hey, not a bad commute out there, Aaron. This report is brought to us by the Emerald Queen Casino. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both at 50 minutes, so I-5, you're slow from Lake City Way through Linwood. 405 is pretty solid between Kirkland and Alderwood. You will catch a nice little break there in Canyon Park. South 5 into Seattle slows at Ravenna Boulevard, I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. North 5 looking good, just minimal slowing from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Lake bridges are all clear. In Bellevue, South 405, just past Southeast 8th, we've got a new collision. It's in the HOV lane. This is in the middle of a backup from mid-Bellevue down to the VMAC. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute commute. Seattle to Federway, still about 35 minutes. We're slow from interurban down to 516. And Federway to Tacoma is just 15 minutes, but it is slow from State Route 18 all the way down to that Puyallup River Bridge. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC February 6th, only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle's new mayor says there is no policy change when it comes to drug enforcement in the city. Mayor Katie Wilson telling John Curley.
Woke up this morning to the news that apparently my office had issued a new directive, and we definitely did no such thing.
Wilson acknowledges an email was sent from Seattle's police chief. In it, the president of the police union, Mike Solon, tells the Jason Ranch Show officers are now being told not to arrest people for public drug use or possession.
This is draconian, and it is going to really cause a significant issue.
But Mayor Wilson tells Curley officers still have discretion to arrest or divert someone to treatments. A Key Peninsula teacher is convicted on 11 counts of first-degree child molestation. Jurors today found 34-year-old Jordan Henderson guilty. He was a fifth-grade teacher at Evergreen Elementary, was arrested last April after prosecutors said he abused children inside his classroom over 2 years. Henderson also served as a worship pastor at a local church. He'll be sentenced in April. An arrest has been made and charges filed in last month's fatal shooting at a South Seattle hookah lounge. More from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
The shooting happened at the Eben Gotti Hookah Lounge on Rainier Avenue South, December 1st. 30-year-old Abdul Rahman Hussein is now charged with second-degree murder for killing Khalif Hussein. Casey McNerthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office says a break in the case came when someone saw the suspect trying to get away on a Lime scooter.
People sometimes forget that their movements all over the place can be tracked.
According to court records, police subpoenaed Lime records, and that led them to the suspect. Hussein is being held on $3 million bail. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at mostly cloudy skies right now, but staying dry for this afternoon. Overnight, it gets windy. Tomorrow, rain and mountain snow starts. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
2026.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Socialism failing to work as it always does. This time in Venezuela.
Uh-oh.
You talk about giving everybody something free, and all of a sudden there's no food to eat. And who do you think is the richest person in Venezuela? The daughter of Hugo Chavez. Hello.
Hello.
Anyway,
obviously a game that was played a while ago. How about the fact that they bombed Hugo Chavez's gravesite?
Yeah, that wasn't an accident.
They're probably sitting around there like, hey, I got an idea. Why we're flying over? Why don't we drop a heavy one on Chavez, Hugo Chavez, huh?
It's quite
the Scully like that. And then oh, we can't do that. And you say, hell, we can't. We're Department of War. Let's drop a good one. Drop a hot one on there. All right. I bet Tim Walz from Minnesota is like, oh, good, thank you. I'm off the front page for a while. Lay low, daycare centers with no kids. Don't worry, we're going to ride this Venezuela wave out of the news for a while. Ye gads. Where were you when the news broke, huh? All right. What questions do you have? Rather than doing it, what do you want to know? What do you want to know about it?
Can I first,
fire a few off?
Can I play the sizzle reel that the White House put out?
Yes, I like this. Go ahead.
Venga por mí. Last night, on the order of the President of the United States, in support of a request from the Department of Justice,
don't be late in arriving.
Military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro.
Cowards!
Nicolas Maduro had his chance until he didn't. He effed around and he found out.
This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, you know, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. But don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well.
Boom. Very Teddy Roosevelt. All right. So if you read the Wall Street Journal, does a great job of sort of taking you through almost a year. Here's what happened in July. The president gets on there with Maduro and says, listen, get out. We want you out of there. We'll set up I'm sure he's like, beautiful place. You're going to love it. It's great. You're like, well, we'll attend you. It'll be nice. You have a swimming pool. Just leave. All right. This is July. Maduro is saying to him, well, listen, we'll let you back in with the oil. We can help out. You know, bring Chevron can come in and stuff like that. And it was Marco Rubio and a bunch of others like, don't trust this guy. Don't trust him. And Trump's like, no, he kept warning him. So then he sent the ships and we had the battle. We had the aircraft carriers and everybody started to move into position. Another call was made before December, basically the same thing, saying, listen, we're very serious about this. We want you out. You can leave now. You can go now because we know where you are. About a year earlier, the CIA moved into position, put assets in place. They found enough people that didn't like Maduro that were in sort of his inner workings, and then they were relaying information back because he has a bunch of different places he used to hide. And then they had enough connection there that they knew where he was going to be, and then they made this thing work. I think they only had, from what I can gather recently, about 4 weeks to get all the planning in place, right? Once they got the ships in place, they go in there, they blow out the ability to be able to communicate. The whole Venezuela or Caracas goes dark, right? And then they stop the radar, they stop the ground-to-surface missiles, they take out everything they needed to take out, and then they just flew those helicopters right across. It's pretty crazy.
And Hugo Chavez's mausoleum.
And then they drop a bomb on it. I think 80 people altogether died. And Hugo Chavez, Maduro used to brag about, I have the best security team in the world. They're Cuban assassins. They're going to take care of me. And China has, I think about a week earlier or a couple of days before the U.S. went in there, China was like, don't worry about us. Don't worry about you. We've got you covered. We've got surface-to-air missiles. We got that from China, and we got some stuff from Russia. You're going to be perfectly fine. It's like, hello?
Okay, so you asked for questions.
Yes.
The biggest one, I think, why?
What is everybody saying?
Well, so people are speculating. I mean, even from the White House, there was a few different reasons given from Rubio and from Hegseth. Rubio saying, I think it was about narco-terrorism. This is a drug dealer. He's sending fentanyl to the United States. People are saying this is
that was part of I think that's under the guise that that's why we're going after him. First of all, you have to understand the president of the United States has the authority to determine which leader we recognize as a leader. There's about 50 around the world that we do not recognize as leaders. The president determines, well, that is a recognized leader of that country. If you don't recognize him, well, then you don't have any international rights where if we can't fly into Canada and pull the guy out of Canada because we recognize Canada. But if there's certain countries where the president of the United States, it's up to him or her to determine we recognize that is the legally and democratically elected leader of that country. There's 50 countries that we don't recognize, and it's up to the president. The president does not recognize Venezuela and Maduro. They knew the whole election was a fraud, so it's not recognized, so he's not protected, not a sovereign leader of that country. That's one.
Okay, so
he can go in.
In your opinion, though.
Yes.
What is the
By the
why?
way, they didn't call me to get advice.
Well, so okay, there's drugs, there's terrorism, there's oil, there's an immediate national threat.
None of that matters.
So what was the why?
We are out producing every other country when it comes to oil. Just about. We are a full blast. The spigots are going. We are just blasting out. U.S. crude oil coming out of Texas, 43%. What's coming out of Venezuela is junk. It's thick. It's hard to refine. It costs more to put up through the refinery. It was not about oil. We don't need their oil. What we need is to stop China. And China, since 2005, has spent about 44% of its infrastructure dollars into Venezuela. They want to be in Venezuela. They want to be within striking distance of the Panama Canal. They want to close down the Panama Canal. Why? Because then the Navy has to go all the way around through the Straits of Magellan. And China, if they were to be sitting there and have all of that infrastructure, all the money that they were giving there to Maduro, we needed to get them out. And that's why we did it. Because we know on the international stage, it is China trying to go into Taiwan and take over from Taiwan. And they know that if we went in there and tried to block things, they would easily, if they had access in Venezuela, they could do all sorts of damage. The distance between Venezuela into Houston is about 2,000 miles. You're talking about missiles that would be set from China, not Venezuela, Chinese missiles into Houston, Chinese missiles into Florida, Chinese missiles anywhere you want, right there along the coast. We can't have them set up an infrastructure. This was a major blow, not for the oil, morons. This is about China. This is far bigger than oil. We don't want China, and for a lesser degree, Russia clinging on to whatever they possibly can. We don't want them there. If it was about socialism, we would have gone into Cuba. This is about having China in Venezuela. And we told them and showed them, we'll pull that guy out of there. That's what the move was. It's not oil, because we already have enough oil. We're producing more oil than Venezuela, and that's better stuff. And then is it legal? Absolutely, what he did was legal. It's the same way that Bush did the same thing with Noriega in 1989. Same thing. You're an international terrorist, drug dealing. They went in there, got Noriega out of there, poured him in trial. They sent him to jail for a while, and then they let him out. I think they sent him back to Panama. I don't know where. I think he's dead now. But the court upheld it. The interesting thing of the whole thing is the fact that the judge that is going to be overhearing the case possibly hates Trump. He was the one that said, yeah, Alvin Bragg, you can go ahead and indict him on all these charges. He is not a Trump fan. Now, whether he steps down or somebody asks him to step down because of prejudice, that's another thing. But he just can't stand Trump. But it doesn't matter because the president legally go in there and get this guy. They're going to get him on drug charges and narco-terrorism, and most likely he will end up doing time in jail. So this people like, oh, it's not fair to the country. And it's amazing to see all of these people that were marching around with the No Kings posters. Now, free Maduro. Free Maduro.
You want to see one of these?
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is downtown Seattle.
Of course.
Yeah. With me, all. Hands off Venezuela!
Hands up.
Hands off Venezuela!
Oh, hands off.
Free President Maduro!
He's going through. Is he or she going through puberty? Quick, take a drug and stop it.
Libertad, socialismo o muerte, venceremos!
Yeah, they couldn't follow along with that.
Socialism or die.
Yeah. Anything, it's just anti-America. Just yell out stuff. Anything that's America's done, they just yell the opposite.
Okay, I have another question for you.
Yeah.
If we'd asked a couple of weeks ago, it would seem like the plan would be to reinstate the woman who got the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah,
and she thanked Trump. But now it's coming out that he's no longer backing her.
Yeah, I can't understand. So they put a socialist in there, and socialism failing. So, and this person is calling, who the gal that's in there right now, she wants Maduro back, which is like really crazy talk. I guess the problem being, you have that. This is the hard part of it, right? It's what is Colin Powell talked about, the Pottery Barn idea that once you break it, you buy it. You go in there now. We don't have tribal problems that are thousands and thousands a year old, right? We don't have that sort of problem, but there's still enough people in there that maybe have who's the next power person. So the next power person is the one that stepped up, and she's in there now. Is the CIA trying to do something to get that person taken down, and then Machado would get in there? I don't know. This is where you get into all of that deep state stuff, where they have the public rise up or they have somebody try to assassinate. I mean, can you imagine the garbage going on behind the scenes in Venezuela? The most important thing is no Chinese government, no communism right off of our shore.
Yeah, but so in that sense, it's almost exactly like the Cuban Missile Crisis before the missiles, right? You're trying to prevent Russia or another superpower having missiles so close to home. But what now?
Right. What Trump say, well, I guess we're going to run Venezuela. I think he says stuff like that because it gets a bunch of news. But it also, when Trump negotiates, he said, we want $50 billion. That's the first thing on the table. And then you back off the $50 billion and get what you want. But you always ask for an outrageous thing. Who knows why he said, now we're going to take over Venezuela. Now people go, what about Greenland?
Right.
It's like a bunch of other places. But again, it's not right there. The champ's hurt. It's not oil. It's about global geographical positioning of superpowers. That's what it is. That's why you have Putin doesn't like NATO on the border. That's why the U.S. didn't want communism in Cuba. That's why the U.S. doesn't want China in Venezuela. That's why we don't want China in Greenland. The amount of money that China is spending in Greenland is crazy. Why? Because, hey, we'll build this for you. We'll build that for you. We'll build roads for you. We'll help you with all sorts of green energy. China's like, here, take our money, take our money, take our money. And then pretty soon you're in there. It's like, there you go. There's China right up on top of us. It doesn't have to do with economics. It's not that. It's about the positioning of a superpower. And this is really the U.S. saying, okay, you know what? We're ready to go against you guys. So stops them.
And
now you know the rest of the story.
The rest of the story.
Because if China had the Panama Canal, they're spending billions of dollars in there. If they had the Panama Canal, I mean, they could disrupt everything for us. So that's why they got to stop it.
So you think this is a good thing?
Yeah. Internationally, fighting China, yeah, that's a good win. That's a good win. Besides, it also shows all the rest of these knuckleheads that this guy is serious. You know, it's the old Nixon theory, right? When Kissinger said, well, if I tell them that, they're going to think you're crazy. And Nixon said, good, I want them to think I'm crazy, that I could do absolutely anything. Well, Trump doesn't need somebody going out there ahead of him and saying, that you might think Trump's crazy. They just think he's crazy anyway. But this tells them, don't mess around. The guy means it. He's not like Joe Biden's people. So there we go. Does that answer all of it? The weird thing is who's taking over?
The what's next is the biggest question mark, right? Like even so, okay, he's out. How do you prevent China from gaining influence over the next person?
There you go. You got to get the CIA to get one of our people in there and stop giving them money. China's giving them money. Get in there, create an economy. 8 million people have left Venezuela. It used to be one of the richest countries in the world. And now 80% or 70% people are living absolute poverty, abject poverty. And if you say anything against Maduro government, they took you and tortured you for months and months, if did not kill you. I mean, you can't live under that. So maybe that's what the people in Venezuela are celebrating, because there's generations there. Remember when Venezuela used to be a strong country. It has more resources when it comes to oil and other precious minerals, more gold than anywhere else. So that's a big part of it. Let that country flourish. Let it grow with the support of the United States, not the support of China. All right? All right. Anything else?
If you say so.
What do you mean I'm saying? Just give me the bigger picture on it. I'm not just going, Trump's horrible. And this is oil. And free Maduro.
But why would Trump on Air Force One say, I let the oil companies know before I let Congress know? Like what? That makes it seem
first of all, the oil companies were already in there, but they want to get some of their money back because Maduro did owe them money, promised that they could get in there. Because what they have is they got a bunch of infrastructure that they already have in place. They all got kicked out. They're allowed to get back in there again, but they weren't able to spend the money on the infrastructure. Yeah, so his idea, the reason he says that is because, as far as he's concerned, private business or publicly traded businesses have more right to Venezuela and the knowledge of Venezuela than a bunch of knuckleheads sitting back there in Congress. So he just sort of, and besides, he's not going to tell them that. He is allowed to do this type of work. And people are like, well, what about, declaring war? Congress has the right to declare war. Yes, he does. This is not a declaration of war. And the reason this is not a declaration of war, and the reason he's able to do this, because Maduro and Venezuela are not recognized as a country. That is not a sovereign country. That's the difference. That's sort of the little thing you hang your hat on. The same way when they went in there and got Noriega. He was not recognized as a duly elected leader of that country. So any country out there, the same way we went into Libya, right? We bombed the crap out of Libya. Obama went in there and got Gaddafi. For what? What were we doing there? Yeah. What was that about?
Good question.
Right. What? Everybody remembers that. Why did we do that?
That's a great question, John.
Do you have the answer?
I sure don't.
Okay.
Oh, it's not going to be a boring year, apparently.
No, never a boring year. Besides, our psychic said, this is going to be a good year for me.
That's right.
Financially. They didn't say anything nice about you, though, Joe.
Said I'm going to be very busy, but rewarded at the end? I don't know.
Don't count on that. No. All right, here's Nate, checking traffic. Nathan.
Yep, Northwest Hope and Healing has our update. Southbound 405 is now bumper to bumper from Mid-Bellevue all the way to Sunset Boulevard in Renton, where we have a crash blocking that right lane. Bellevue to Renton now pushing 40 minutes, about a 10-minute delay. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett have both gone up to 55-minute commutes. 405 is solid between Kirkland and Alderwood. I-5 slows from Lake City Way through Linwood. South 5 heading into Seattle slows at Ravenna down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle still looking good at 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is going to take you a half hour. You're slow from the Duwamish curve down to 516, and then you're going to clear out. Tacoma to Olympia, a 40-minute drive. A heads up tonight, the northbound I-5 exit ramp to Mercer closes at 9 o'clock through 5 a.m. Tuesday for tunnel maintenance. And if you're heading over the passes right now, no restrictions at Snoqualmie and Blewett, and we do have traction tires advised, no oversized vehicles over Stevens and White Pass. Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration. Get your tickets now for January 31st at nwhopeandhealing.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Maduro and his wife plead not guilty in New York. What's next for Venezuela?
News Nation's Leland Vittert will break down the latest.
Whatever happened to Doge, and did it really save any money?
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold takes a closer look.
Could be busy on the road. Sully will have traffic every 10 minutes.
Hope you can join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
John Curley here. As humans, we value things that last. Local businesses, long-term relationships, people who have been in the community for years. That's Madrona Financial and CPAs. For decades, they've been serving Washingtonians, and what makes them different? They combine taxes and investments under one roof. Most firms do one or the other, but not both. Taxes are often your biggest retirement expense, bigger than travel or healthcare. Yet most never get a clear look at how taxes and investments fit together. That's why Madrona offers the Madrona Analysis. It's an easy-to-understand review of your retirement picture, income, taxes, investments, all working together in one coordinated plan. Best of all, it's conversational. You'll talk with someone who explains it all in plain English. Discover hidden tax traps, see if your portfolio matches income needs, and learn steps to retire with confidence. Call 833-673-7373 for your complimentary Madrona Analysis. Madrona Financial and CPAs, local, trusted, and here to put the whole picture together.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in 1 day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. President Trump says we're in charge of Venezuela after U.S. forces captured that country's president. CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports from the White House.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio said they're mainly pressuring the country economically.
What you're seeing right now is an oil quarantine that allows us to exert tremendous leverage over what happens next.
While Trump's UN ambassador downplayed talk of total control.
There is no war against Venezuela or its people. We are not occupying a country.
Much of Maduro's regime is still in office.
Maduro and his wife made their first court appearance on drug charges today in New York and pleaded not guilty. They are due back in court in March. The pilot of an Alaska Airlines flight that experienced that door plug blowouts is suing Boeing and one of its suppliers. KIRO Newsradio's Heather Bosch has more.
Despite the hole torn in the fuselage at 16,000 feet, Captain Brandon Fisher and his co-pilot safely landed the Boeing 737 MAX 9. Still, Fisher says he suffers physical and emotional effects, and his lawsuit claims Boeing damaged his reputation by at first suggesting the flight crew had something to do with the near disaster. Federal investigators found 4 bolts that held the door plug in place were missing due to systemic quality and safety problems at Boeing.
Winter storm warning takes effect in the mountains early tomorrow morning, runs until 4 p.m. Thursday. National Weather Service meteorologist Kayla Mazurkowitz says you can expect feet of new snow.
Yeah, I would say anywhere from 2 to 4 feet. Probably like the 4 feet, we could probably say at Baker in Paradise. The passes, you could see maybe 2 feet, maybe 3 feet. Right now we're seeing like snow rates approach 1 inch per hour during this time.
System will also bring wet and windy weather to lower elevations, gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour. Takes us to 4:32. Now we check in with Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Southbound 405 is bumper to bumper from Mid-Bellevue all the way to Sunset Boulevard in Renton, where that right lane is still blocked. Bellevue to Renton has jumped to a 50-minute drive. That's a 20-minute delay. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett are both pushing an hour. South 5 heading into Seattle, doing pretty good. You're going to eventually slow there in the U District down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is just 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is a half hour. You're slow from the Duwamish curve past State Route 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 45-minute commute. Otherwise, really, we're just seeing typical backups out there across the region. Nothing's really going to surprise you. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Will stay dry overnight, mostly cloudy skies, and the wind picks up overnight. Again, winter storm warning for the mountains takes effect at 4 a.m. tomorrow, runs until Thursday night. Lots of snow over the passes on the way. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go. Don't forget Bucky's Auto Service Centers. We head into the new year. If your New Year's resolution is finally get that car fixed like Nate did, take it to Bucky's Auto Service Centers with 16 locations. Been around for 51 years?
Almost.
When's their birthday? March?
I think so.
Okay. I can't wait to talk to this guy. I think the best way to sum up is in music.
Our house is a very, very, very fine
Get ready for it, James.
With 2 cats in the yard. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those cats were fast as lightning.
Coolest dude we've ever had on the show because he's got 2 first names. James Jacobs, I got to tell you something. ASP squatter removal. Joe found this and he said to me, we got to get this guy to come on. And I thought, this has got to be a joke. Especially when they interviewed you out there, James, and you had your samurai sword. Now, of course, it wasn't a legal one. It was the blade was smoothed on it. But you were basically showing the guys there from some news department how you have a samurai sword and how people will pay you $10,000 to get squatters out of homes. How'd you come up with this idea?
Thank you. I've actually been doing this for about 7 years now. I got into property management when I was going into college, studying under my bachelor's in business administration. And my boss at the time was throwing me bonuses for anybody that I could remove from a property that was a squatter that clearly broke in and so forth. My first job was at an apartment complex that we monitored and so forth.
Yeah. You have to walk a fine line, Mr. Jacobs, don't you? You have to walk a fine line. So the squatter's in there, the person that owns the property hires you guys at ASAP squatter removal, and then explain the process after the person signs off that you're going to go in there and get the squatter out. What happens?
Sure. Well, first thing we're going to do is surveillance. That's number one. We don't make any move until we actually have the right intel. But before we do anything, there's a pre-qualification process. I'm not just going to take anybody's job if they want to throw money at me. I have to actually, verify that they own the deed to the property. There's a certain steps that I have to go through in confirming that this is a squatter. And then obviously we don't just care about the client's word. We also need to verify this information, from the squatter side too. So surveillance is really, really important. So that's always number one. Number two is when we decide to actually have this intel. We have established enough information to do a breach and clear. And that's actually going to be going into the property. And we're going to actually clear the property. Breaching is going in to the property, and clearing is actually going through each room and making sure that there is no threats and mitigating the threat if possible. And then we go through a process of boarding up the property. Boarding up is actually very critical. I've got really good guys who know how to board up properties really well. I think that would even challenge, like maybe the SWAT team or something. we boarded up really, really well, because the issue is that there's really no point in hiring someone to remove the squatter if they're just going to break back in. And they will. They'll break back in the middle of the night. It's just super common. Until they've been trespassed from the property by police, they're just going to come back. I mean, like, there's no incentive not to, right? They've already been in the property. They already broke in. Why wouldn't they break in again?
Yeah.
Yeah, realistically speaking, at that stage, we do what is called a sensory unit hold, where we hold down the property for a minimum of 48 hours. So we've done 30-day holds. We've done some long times because of certain homeless establishments that are living in encampments that are very close by. We've done some pretty hard jobs. So we've even picked out gangs, organized crime. We've done citizen arrests on a lot of these people. This is not easy work. This is not your typical squatter, and there's also a lot of career squatters.
Yeah.
People who are doing this for a living that aren't even homeless, or just taking advantage of the situation. You'd be surprised at what we see, but I hope that kind of gives you an answer. You know?
So, yeah, it does. So here you are, you get hired to go in there. Are you the guy with the samurai sword, or are you the guy with the AK?
Oh, you know what? It depends on the job. Let's be honest. Our intel is good that they don't have a firearm. We'd like to handle this the katana style.
Well, explain the katana style for the small percentage of the audience who's unfamiliar with the katana style. What is that?
Sure. So let me introduce you here.
Yes.
This is my uchi katana right here. Okay. This is a full-on samurai sword, as you want to call them. Okay. Something like this. Okay. We're using these as standard issue, and they're made out of T-peg steel. Wow. So we can breach doors. We can, no problem. These things will not fail if you're hitting steel or whatever. They will not fail you. These are pretty powerful instruments. And then we have our friend here, which is another katana called the wakizashi.
Yes.
And this instrument right here is more for your inside narrow hallways, doors, and so forth. But I think you'd like the ham on this, if you can actually see that.
Yeah, I could slice a hair right there. Yes, I see it. Razor.
Yeah, we're into the stuff, you know. So it just depends on, you know.
Have you ever?
What we have to go against, but you have to understand the concept. People think we're freaking nuts. Like, why are you doing this? Why aren't you using a baton? Why aren't you using tasers?
Yes.
No. Let me the process, because that's probably where you're coming.
That's
at,
where
right?
I'm going. Go, Jacobs, go.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, the reality is we practice matching the threat. Okay, if somebody wants to go fisticuffs, we'll fight you. No problem, all right? But if you pull a weapon, generally speaking, we're going to pull a weapon. We have a right to match the force, right? I mean, we have a right to protect ourselves. Everybody does, especially in our own property, correct? So we have the castle doctrine here, and unfortunately in California, it's a duty to retreat. So if, you know, for whatever reason, you know, there was some form of combat, you have an obligation to retreat. But
I think he's retreating right now. Did we lose him?
So we use the castle doctrine to actually stand our ground and defend the property.
Yeah.
So when we're defending the property with the katana, we're trying to mitigate the loss of life, because at the end of the day, a police officer, when they shoot someone, wrongful deaths happen all the time. You know, they're not arrested. Unfortunately, they won't be arrested not only until the trial, but until they've actually had an actual judgment and they've been found guilty. That's when they're arrested. Whereas my guys, they'll be arrested and then they'll wait trial, even if they're completely within the right and the castle doctrine and so forth. So we're trying to mitigate death. So if somebody comes at you with a knife, what's great about the katana is that we can do defensive strikes. We can go for the limb. We can hit you in the arm. We can take out your legs. We can actually use strikes that will eliminate the combat. completely eliminate combat without having to actually get into the attempted murder, manslaughter kind of thing scenario.
Yeah.
And that's a huge one. We just don't believe in tasers. Tasers, to me, are a cop's excuse to kill someone. It's didn't work. Boom, 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 boom. That's police there. You know.
Yeah.
I have now legal justification to kill you. Taser failed. That gives me the right to. And to me, we were trying to save the life. When you have good melee combat experience, and you know how to use a sword, you can almost always guarantee a victory versus somebody who has no melee experience using a baseball bat or a wrench or something. Very common stuff that we deal with, knives, this kind of stuff, right? We can usually almost certainly guarantee a win without having to kill them. That's very, very important. You know?
Right. James, do you think if the house was taken over by squatters that were also participating in Renaissance fairs, do you think it would be a fair fight?
Oh God, I know some of those guys get pretty good. I will say that I wouldn't want to be outnumbered.
No.
How about that?
Maybe they'd come down with dysentery.
I got 36 guys, and not all of them, and about close to half of them are pretty good at melee now, and I'm training them.
Yeah,
so,
I get it.
It would be tough. At that point, we often like to go, tear gas, pepper spray, the old-fashioned OC.
Sure.
We're not going CF or any of that elite stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're going to the standard pepper. We go with the smoke screen, reduce visibility. We will try different tactics to try and make it on our side as best as possible. You even have high-powered flashlights that can blind people temporarily when you just flash them. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
We have a lot of different tactics we're using, and it's really good.
And business is good, right, James Jacobs?
Oh yes, and we're partnering with so many people. We have PIs.
Okay.
They have really good equipment where they can eavesdrop and listen in on people. So that's how we get really good intel on the squatter. We have bounty hunters. We have an actual federal agent that we sent to in LA. And if we run a plate and they have an error, they'll cut us on half of the bounty. And we'll take them down.
I guess it. So, James Jacobs from ASAP Squatters Removal. We've got people that are squatting on the highway, so we got to get Nate to check. But I appreciate your time. Stay safe and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, there he goes. Check Nate over there in traffic. Nathan?
Bucky's Complete Auto Care has the update. Let's start you in Kitsap County. Southbound 3 has one of our bigger backups this afternoon. You're packed from Austin Drive to the inlet. And then westbound 304 is packed heading through the Naval Shipyard along the inlet as well. Just volumes here. And as you head into Belfair, southbound 3 has about 1.5 miles to 2 mile bumper-to-bumper backup heading into Belfair. South 405 is still packed from Mid-Bellevue to Sunset Boulevard in Renton, where that right lane remains blocked. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 50 minutes. It's close to an hour from Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett, and crossing the lake right now from Bellevue, looking good. 20 minutes max on both of our bridge routes. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Did you know that 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, the hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. If this sounds like your house, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or a new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service, even in winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which my wife and kids are extremely grateful for. I trust them to help you too. To lock in your winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands. 206 Roofing.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Cars for Kids, your trusted charity for car donations, also accepts donations of boats, RVs, motorcycles, and real estate. Call today, 877-CARS4KIDS.
That was an interesting interview. With a samurai sword.
Wow.
I didn't want to, because we'd go to another hour with him. I was doing a show in Washington, D.C., and this guy who was paralyzed from the waist down was a black belt in karate, and he had a samurai sword. He said, so what I need you to do is get down on all fours and I'm going to cut this potato, teeny a potato. Imagine that. Potato off the back of your neck with a samurai sword. So he pulls the sword out. You just sit there. You put it as a waste bag or basket. Like I catch your head's going to go in the basket if things don't go right. Yeah. And he comes straight down. Don't move. I want whack. He whack, and the potato breaks right in half, goes into the basket. Potato. Thank you, Teeny. And so I said to him afterwards, "How'd you do that? What's the story with you?" He goes, "Well, thanks for being so brave." And he took the sword and he showed me on an angle. It's sharpened at a 45-degree angle. He sliced right like this, right through a piece of paper with it. No problem at all. He goes, "But if you come straight down, it's just blunt. There's no on the very beginning of the blade." Because it's sharpened the way it is, straight down doesn't cause any problem, but on an angle. So you swing it out, and with your right hand, you're pulling to turn the blade so it cuts in.
I would have made him told me that before he sliced the potato in half.
Again, it was one of these things where like, oh, it's on television. I'm in front of 100 senior citizens in wheelchairs. Nothing bad's going to happen.
Why was he on the show? I mean, what was it?
Because he's going to cut the potato off the back of the host head.
He's known for that?
I don't know. The producers didn't like me very much. They're like, yeah, book that. Book that. So I had a small nick in the back of my head, back of my neck, from where the blade came down. But he goes, as long as my both wrists, I'm straight down, bang, no problem. But a slight angle. Did you see the video 10 years ago that the guy tried to knock a hot dog out of his friend's mouth with a samurai sword? Took the guy's whole nose off?
No.
Yeah, look at that during the commercial break, everybody.
All right.
Potato. Okay, thank you, Teeny.
Sword people.
I was going to imagine Japanese throwing stars or Chinese throwing.
Yeah.
Why not go in with those? Lead with the throwing stars.
Yeah, really. Got a little distance.
Guys making big money doing that. All right, here comes Nate. Checker traffic. Nathan.
All righty. South 405 has our biggest backup this afternoon, and it's bumper to bumper from mid-Bellevue all the way to Sunset Boulevard in Renton, where that right lane is still blocked. Bellevue to Renton is improved a few minutes. We're down to a 45-minute drive. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. It's solid from Kirkland to Alderwood. Seattle to Everett is at 50 minutes. It's slow from the U District through Linwood. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, we're looking great. 20 minutes max on both of those bridge routes. South 5 slows from the U District to I-90, which is really simple for this time of day. In fact, Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. North 5 slows just a bit, approaching the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. And eastbound 512 in Parkland at State Route 7, we've got a stalled semi. It's blocking the center lane of the off-ramp. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, here is a simple New Year's resolution that is guaranteed to succeed. I'm talking about reversing hair loss. It's quick, it's easy, it's a one-day hair loss solution from Advanced Hair, and it begins to regrow your very own natural hair the very next day, so it's even guaranteed to grow. You see, world-class Dr. Alan Parango and the top-rated team there at Advanced Hair, by the way, also recently crowned again, second time in a year, second time 425 Business of the Year. So do what I did 13 years ago. Noticed my hair was going away and not coming back. I went to Advanced Hair, get a fuller head of hair. If this is your New Year's resolution, you can achieve this, and you can celebrate the new year with Advanced Hair. You get $250 off, 250 free hair graft, and all you have to do is just schedule a consultation at 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. And visit advancedhair.com and check out the before and after pictures right there at advancedhair.com.
And so we are set.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game. A single-season franchise record of 14 wins. The fourth #1 seed in franchise history.
Reaction. Just incredibly proud of them. Conversation.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com. And the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO News Radio. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife enter not guilty pleas in New York City federal court after their capture in Venezuela. CBS's Matt Gutman.
Maduro, in a dark prison jumpsuit, was initially defiant, declaring through a translator that he's a decent man, was innocent of all the charges, and was still the president of Venezuela. Both he and his wife then pleaded not guilty. Maduro faces 4 federal drug and weapons-related charges. He was indicted during the first Trump administration in 2020.
On the U.S. military operation, Republican Senator Rand Paul comments.
Apparently this attack's been under planning for 3 or 4 months, and so there's plenty of time to ask Congress's permission.
A war powers vote is on the horizon as lawmakers return to Washington this week. President Trump has again called for a U.S. takeover of Greenland and has threatened U.S. action against Colombia and Cuba. Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer.
What about Iran or Greenland? How is anything of this putting America first? The simple answer is that it's not.
The arrest of Nicolas Maduro sent oil stocks higher today. Chevron led the way. 2 sources tell CBS News that reps from petroleum giants Chevron, ConocoPhillips, and ExxonMobil are planning to meet with the Trump administration later this week to discuss Venezuela. The Trump administration takes the unprecedented step of dropping the number of vaccines the government recommends for every child. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Dr. Jason Goldman, president of the American College of Physicians, is warning parents not to trust the CDC.
It creates more chaos and confusion and adds to the hesitancy that does not need to exist.
He says the decision will lead to more disease and more confusion for parents.
There was no mandate based on this schedule. This schedule was a guideline and a recommendation.
Vaccines against 11 diseases are recommended, but not the flu, rotavirus, hepatitis A or B, or RSV.
At least 35 people have been killed and 1,200 detained in Iran's economic protests. The figure came from the U.S.-based human rights activist news agency, which said that more than 1,200 people have been detained in the protests, which have been ongoing for more than a week. Jury selection starts in the trial of former Uvalde Schools police officer Adrian Gonzalez. He's one of the officers accused of being slow to respond to the deadly school shooting in 2022. CBS's Karen Waugh.
Adrian Gonzalez is the first law enforcement officer in Texas charged for failing to act during an active shooter situation. He's facing 29 counts of child endangerment and abandonment, and he's pled not guilty.
Gonzalez's attorney says his client tried to save children that day. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, Seattle's mayor faces questions over the city's drug enforcement rules. But first, Nate Connors is at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, the Emerald Queen Casino's got the update. Southbound 405 is really struggling today. We're bumper to bumper from mid-Bellevue all the way down to Sunset Boulevard in Renton, where the right lane remains blocked. Bellevue to Renton's a 45-minute drive. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. You're solid from Kirkland into Alderwood, and then, of course, you'll hook into the North 5 back up through Linwood. Seattle to Everett, though, 50 minutes. It's slow from the U-District through Linwood. South 5 slows from the U-District to I-90. It's just a 20-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle. Looks like we've already peaked and beginning to thin out along South Center. Seattle to Federal Way is now under a half hour. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway has improved to 40 minutes. Eastbound 512 at State Route 7, we've got a stalled semi blocking the center lane of the off-ramp, and really the rest of this commute already appears to be thinning out, and really nothing that's going to surprise you at this point. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC, February 6th only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good evening, I'm Aaron Granello. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says she was blindsided today by the headlines that said she's made changes to the city's drug enforcement policy. Mayor Wilson tells KIRO News Radio's John Curley there is no policy change.
The policy remains what it has been, which is we have an ordinance in Seattle around drug use and possession, and currently officers basically use their discretion around when it's appropriate to do an arrest.
But Police Union President Mike Solon tells the Jason Rand Show they received new orders from the police chief not to arrest people for public drug use or possession and instead divert them into treatment programs.
Whether or not this touches the mayor's office, I do not know, but I know this comes from Chief Barnes via the city attorney's office.
Mayor Wilson says her main focus is getting people the help they need. An arrest has been made in last month's fatal shooting at a hookah lounge in South Seattle. Police say they tracked down 30-year-old Abdul Rahman Hussein after someone saw him trying to get on a Lime scooter. Casey McNerthany is with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
This charge was filed on the 31st, on New Year's Eve. When everyone was getting ready for the New Year's, there were still police investigators and prosecutors working to make sure that this was filed with the court.
Hussein is charged with second-degree murder. He's being held on $3 million bail. A judge has ordered the man accused of carjacking a state patrol trooper on Christmas Day to undergo a mental health evaluation. Alexander Smith was in court today facing multiple charges, including robbery and attempting to elude police. More from KIRO 7 TV's Ranjit Sinha.
Smith's arraignment did not continue because of the competency evaluation requested. Shortly after Christmas, we learned in the crash report that the suspect, Smith, admitted to troopers he had smoked meth before everything that happened. His next court date is January 26th.
Former Seahawks coach Pete Carroll is out of a job. The Las Vegas Raiders confirm he's been let go as their head coach. The team finished dead last in the NFL this season. As for the Hawks, they finished with the top seed in the NFC. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy tonight and a storm system is brewing. We'll see Strong winds overnight, plenty of mountain snow, winter storm warning in effect. Tomorrow morning starting at 4 a.m. runs until 4 p.m. Thursday night. Right now, 43 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show.
Oh, good.
Listener introduction line.
This will be informative.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Why you enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Why you enjoy the show. Here we go.
Ah, the French champagne.
Drunk
has
listener.
always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated.
Thank you for that. All right, nice to know.
H.G. Wells, wasn't it?
Is that Wells?
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles. He was sampling the product. Driving it. There we go.
YouTubers.
Anybody still out there?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys. There you go. There's that's low. High, low outside, ball one. He's like, torture him. There we go. Close enough. All right. Hey, we all enjoying our new taxes? Yeah, Washington State desperately needs more revenue. They don't need to cut anything. They just need more of your money. So they all kicked in January 1st. If you like Zins, which they're little nicotine packets. They sell them in 3 milligrams and 6 milligrams.
I think there's even a 9.
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine that? Okay, so the state of Washington, when given a choice, do you want to increase the price of taxes on cigarettes? The answer was no, we're not going to do that. I think we would have had the most expensive cigarettes. I think we're number 1 or number 2 in the United States. So they said, no, we're not going to increase the pack of cigarettes. The cost is, what is it, about $11 for a pack, something like that.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So they said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to increase the cost of vape. So vape is going to go up. So now anywhere between, depending which one, you get $30 to $40 for the retail on that. They've increased the price of that thing.
Yeah, any nicotine that's not a cigarette.
Right. Zins now went from like $6 to 14, all the way up to 25. You get the big 5-pack of it. So what they did, in fact, was they said, listen, if you were smoking cigarettes and it cost the state of Washington, if they had to provide medical care for you because of that, and they say 80,000 people died because of cigarette smoking, that's 80,000 people died because of cigarette smoking. So the person goes, I want to get off of cigarettes, so I'm going to go over to vape. I'm going to vape instead because it might be a little better for me. I'll do that. Well, let's see. I was smoking cigarettes, paying $11. I did get the vape, which cost a little less, and now they've raised the price, almost doubling it. So I'm going to go back to cigarettes again. I talked to the lady down the street that's a little sandwich place. I said, "What's happened?" She goes, "Oh, a lot of people who used to come in and buy the Zins are now buying cigarettes."
It's crazy.
So the state of Washington doesn't give a fiddler's fart about you and your health. What they care about is money, right? So they have not increased the cost of cigarettes. Don't want to do that. Well, let's just increase the cost of all the stuff that people are taking to get nicotine instead of cigarettes. So what do you think is going to happen? I think people will go back to cigarettes. They don't want to because they found something else that might have been a little less expensive and possibly a little less damaging to their health. Look at Ohio. Ohio, when they decided they would increase the cost of cigarettes, they lost $66 million in revenue. So people go to Kentucky and go to Indiana to buy their smokes there because Ohio, I think it's like, I don't know, $9 or something like that. So here comes the state of Washington. They don't really care about your health. They care about a money grab because they realize, hey, more people are not buying cigarettes. What are they buying? Or they're buying Zyn. They're buying vapes. Let's go get the vape money. Let's get the Zyn money. Again, it's not about your health. It's about them taking more of your money. So the thing kicks in. If you were smart, you would have gone out a couple days before and bought as many Zyns as you possibly buy, Joe.
I should have done that. Somebody I know should have done that. Somebody I know did that.
That's right.
Yes.
And congratulations to everybody that signed the 2 initiatives that are now going to be on the ballot, November 2026. We've got it. So Brian Hayward from Let's Go Washington got all the signatures they needed. So good for them, and good for anybody else that believes boys should compete against boys and girls should compete against girls when it comes to sports in high school. And also, by the way, the state of Washington does not own your child. The state of Washington is not in charge of your child. You are, as the parent. It's now been recognized in California as well, that the parent has the right to know what's happening in school. First and foremost, you don't get a 48-hour break, as they wrote it in the state of Washington. The kid gets assaulted or something happens to the child. Your child comes home crying and screaming, and you call the school and say, what happened? My son and my daughter, this, that. And they have 48 hours to respond to you. That's going to go away. Plus, also, you have a right to know if your kid comes in and self-diagnoses. The kids like Doogie Howser is able to self-diagnose themselves with gender dysphoria, and then the school keeps it from you. That's not going to be the case either. So there's now, because of all the signatures that got in place, even though a number of the signature gatherers were assaulted and a number of the ballots were destroyed, they still were able to push it through. So good news on that one. Yes, Joe, questions, comments?
Practical
concerns?
question.
Yes.
The Parents' Bill of Rights initiative was on the ballot, or it was accepted into the legislature last year, but then they cut it all up and made it
Sliced it all up. Said, we just need to change some of the language around.
So what's your level of optimism that doesn't happen again with both of these?
I don't think they're going to be able to do that again this year. So I think hopefully it becomes law as it is. We'd have to talk to Jim Walsh about what little shenanigans they might be able to pull. If it goes to the voters,
right,
which is what you want it to go to the voters will go, parents should have the rights. The problem is, it goes to the voter, you're going to have to get Hayward is going to have to kick up some more money again, because you're going to get a lot of support from other organizations that'll be countering that. And then you got to leave it up to the voter. And then does Walsh have enough money to blast away at the commercials that are going to be running counter to the Parents' Bill of Rights?
So there's 2 options, right? They can either put it into law.
The governor can sign it,
yeah,
right, or not. If the governor doesn't, then it goes to the ballot, and then it goes to the voters of Washington.
And he probably won't sign them, right? Don't you think?
I'm guessing he wouldn't sign it.
Yeah.
Not as it is. So there you go. If you signed it, see, your voice is heard. Oh, let's see. It was the last thing on the anything on this vapes and nicotine pouches.
Well, everybody's going to Idaho already.
Oh, they already are?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so the state is like, we have this many smokers, this many people doing vape and Zins. We'll capture all of this money, but then they don't realize, there'll be leakage to other places. Idaho, I think Oregon is cheaper in Oregon. People will go there and buy it, and then you create the black market, because it's not just onesie-twosies, people traveling over the state border. It's massive amount of the black market that brings the stuff in to avoid the taxes on it, and they catch that or don't catch that. But it's weird, right? You have a healthier or alternative to cigarettes.
Yeah.
We're not going to raise the price of cigarettes. We're going to raise the price of the healthier stuff.
Which is crazy. I mean, and, vapes, I think anybody can agree that they're at least marginally more healthy. And as far as we know, maybe in 20 years we find out that something's different. But Zins are without a doubt, infinitely more healthy than smoking cigarettes.
We shall see. If they could find somebody that does like 6 of them a day, that would be a good lab rat experiment.
I'm sure they're out there.
I like this story coming out of Vancouver. By the way, Vancouver, Washington was rated one of the best places to move?
No, but you hate lists, so.
I do. So we don't talk about that. So the city of Vancouver is saying to the people of the railroad company, I'll let KATU tell you. Hang on. Hold on. I got to press the buttons. So many buttons.
To a railway yard northwest of downtown Vancouver are tents, a wheelchair, and a lot of trash. Inches away are boulders, dozens of them. The city of Vancouver claims Burlington Northern Santa Fe, or BNSF, placed the boulders in a public right-of-way along West 11th Avenue to block homeless camping. According to a lawsuit filed in early December, the city says the boulders are a danger to the public. Rita Crislip lives in a tent nearby. She agrees.
I've tripped and fallen over them, and we understand that,
Listen to this logic as this woman tries to thread the needle on this. Listen to this. Ready? Back her up a little bit. Hang on.
Went over them. And we understand that, it's a difficult situation between us and the city and the railroad. But it's uncalled for.
The city claims it demanded BNSF to remove the boulders 5 times between March and September, but says the company has refused and even added more boulders.
See, that's what happens. You get more boulders. That's what happens. Bring more boulders in. Beep, beep. Back up the boulders. So imagine a sidewalk. So their business is, they got a chain link fence there, and they had a whole bunch of homeless tents all set up along the grass next to their tent, and next to their fence. The business did, their railroad company. So then they put boulders on the sidewalk. Well, that's not good. Then they said, okay, we'll get them off the sidewalk. We'll put them on the grass in front of our property. We'll put them on the grass in front of our tent. So basically boulders on one side or the other, because we don't want people setting up tents there. We don't want to have to deal with all the garbage that goes with it. So they decided to take the law into their own hands rather than taking it to court. And they put the boulders up because you guys are not enforcing, and you're leaving these people in these tents in front of our business. So that's where the boulders came from.
Throughout the year, according to court documents, a maintenance manager for BNSF told the city it should change its municipal code to prevent encampments from occurring in the public right-of-way next to BNSF, and that the company will, quote, await to see what the city attorney's office levies against BNSF.
Yeah. How much are they going to charge them for to get the boulders out of there?
They got to be charging them a daily fine or something, right, for having them there?
Yeah, and that's one of those things, like, as far as the people there, the railroad company are like, let's see, what does it cost us to have to hire somebody to go? We can't move the tents and the garbage that picks up and the human waste and the needles and syringes and all the other stuff that goes with it. What's the cost of us for that? What's the cost? What's the fine every single day to have the boulders there? Just eat the cost of that. And they just keep adding more and more boulders. It's so odd. The city doesn't enforce it. So then these guys have to take the law into their own hands on this. And that's where you get the boulders. You know what they need? They need our buddy with the samurai sword to show up. What's his name again? James Jacobs.
Ay. 10 grand.
Get in there, get the boulder stuff out of there. And then one of the last part of the news. I like this story. We didn't have any sound on. So Mercer Island pulls this guy over, and I guess he's got an outstanding bench warrant for some other stuff. And in the car, he explains to the cop, I work for DoorDash, and I'm trying to deliver this food to these people. I guess you're going to be taking me away. So they put him on in the old paddy wagon, which is an Irishman. I'm deeply offended by the paddy wagon.
Is that where it comes from?
That's where it comes from, the paddy wagon.
Yeah.
So they put him in the paddy wagon, deeply offended. And off he goes. And then the cop realizes, hey, I can't let this chicken pad thai or whatever else it is just not go to waste. So the cop eats it. No, only kidding. So the cop takes it and delivers it to the door.
Oh, good.
Knock at the door, and the person's like, oh, look at this.
I wonder how late it was.
Mercer Island serving and protecting and bringing a new level of the DoorDash delivery there. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I think when the mayor of Mercer Island was asked about it, the mayor said, yeah, this is good. This is good. It shows that, our police are there to serve and protect, and if need be, deliver your DoorDash. Smart move on their part. See, that gets good news out of that. You get a good story out of that thing.
People love that.
Yeah.
Love a good story.
By the way, we all the people that wrote in about Kitty Wilson, I appreciate the folks that said, hey, I like the way you did that interview, showing her as a person. Again, this goes back to this, my creed, my motto. You are a human being. You may disagree with somebody. You may hate their politics, but you owe it to them as a human being to see them as a human being. And I always say to her, I'm diametrically opposed to your entire philosophy of government. When she was talking about during her speech, where was a little speech thing that she gave right in here. I like this. This is part of her inauguration speech. I jumped out of my chair when I heard this.
I want to live in a city that honors what you're doing when you're not making money. I mean the time that you spend with your kid at the playground or caring for a sick friend. I want to live in a city that celebrates the labor that people perform voluntarily. A city that values the pursuits that create beauty and community, whether or not they ever turn into careers. A city that thinks that you should have time to read a book and lay on the grass staring up at the clouds. Because we need bread, but we need roses too.
Okay. From my point of view, you might not agree with me. The job of the government is to put bad guys in jail so I can walk down the street, to arrest the people that smash the window of the business that I'm trying to run, to create a tax base to pay for these services. That the pothole gets filled so when I drive down the road, my car doesn't hit it and my suspension is not out of alignment or I have to replace something, right? So fill the potholes, create safety in society by arresting people, by actually obeying the laws and enforcing the laws. Two main things. That's about it. The rest of the stuff, the government I don't want them to be concerned with what I'm doing in my part-time, as long as they're not breaking the laws, or I'm not digging up a piece of asphalt so that your car falls into a pothole, right? And I, as a taxpayer, should not be involved in the fact that you would want to lay in the grass and read a book. Good for you, or stare at clouds, or have roses and bread. That's not I have no part in that. That's your choice. But when the government decides that they want to redistribute wealth, and they want to take from somebody that they feel earns more than they should and give it to other people, that's where the balance comes in. And I mean, that's where we're out of balance and we're beyond what government should do. I didn't get a chance to ask Katie my only big question I wanted to ask her, which next time I have her on. My dad's favorite question, what percentage of people cheat the system? Because if she came in under 10%, that means 90% obey all the laws. And when you believe that 90% or 80%, like my old buddy Tom on the show used to say 8 to 9% of people cheat the system and everybody else obeys. No, we are all fallen angels. We are all in this for our own self-interest. That's why you get up and go to work, your own self-interest. It's all self-interest. And as soon as you realize that people are basically selfish and they care about themselves and their family, and then if they got some extra empathy and compassion, they extend it out. But the government demanding that sort of stuff, and don't ask me to care about somebody laying in the grass. That's not the government's job. As an individual, good for you. But don't come to me and ask me as a citizen, as a taxpayer, to support somebody's decision to lay in the grass after they go to work.
Oh, you like to be owned by the government. Oh, you like to be something by the government. Government.
Sherry, I thought we fired her. What is she still doing on the air? Huh?
Easy. I send her a check for a couple cents every time I play a drive.
I love her. All right, let's do this. Nate's checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, South 405, we're still jam-packed from Mid-Bellevue to Sunset Boulevard in Renton, where that right lane remains blocked. Obviously, this is not a collision, but I'm not getting a confirmation on why this is blocked. We have state troopers on scene. Bellevue to Renton is going to take you 45 minutes. Bellevue to Everett is improved to 45 minutes. We're still pretty heavy between Kirkland and Alderwood, but we're picking up the pace here. Seattle to Everett hanging on at 50 minutes, and you're slow from the U District through Linwood. Now, South 5 heavy from the U District to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, pushing a half hour. North 5 just past the West Seattle Bridge. You've got a new collision in the right lane, and your backup starts at the Michigan Curve. Down in South Hill, westbound 512 comes to a halt just around that South Hill curve where we most likely have a new collision. Eastbound 512 at State Route 7, that stalled semi at the end of the off-ramp now has a Class C tow on scene, hooking it up, and we're getting it out of there. Got a 1 hour wait for drivers at the Mukilteo Ferry Terminal, and due to low tide, the 8:30 departure out of Port Townsend and the 9:10 from Coopville have been canceled. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Seattle voters wanted change.
I campaigned on affordability, on homelessness, on taxing the rich.
Can Mayor Wilson live up to the promises of candidate Wilson?
The self-proclaimed progressive socialist
managing high expectations. Trusted Northwest News voices you depend on.
More government programs, which means more tax dollars.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
At Skyline, senior living never sounded so good. The world feels bigger when you stay connected to ideas, to culture, to the things you love. We designed Skyline for today's older adults who celebrate life rooted in the city, not apart from it. At Seattle's only true life care community, premier music venues, museums, and culinary gems are just steps away. Urban senior living has an address. Discover it all at SkylineSeattle.org.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Key members of Congress are briefed tonight on the mission to capture Venezuela's president. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson is defending the operation.
It was completely authorized by law. It's well within Article 2. And now we're getting our Article 1 briefing exactly on the timetable as these are anticipated.
A Washington Democrat Adam Smith is part of today's hearing. He's a ranking member on the House Armed Services Committee and tells CNN tonight.
We've signed on to a UN charter that says you can't violate sovereign territory in this way, even to arrest somebody who has a indictment against them.
Venezuela swore in an interim leader today as its president and his wife pleaded not guilty to drug charges in a New York courtroom. Harsh words from the president of the American College of Physicians over new vaccine recommendations for kids.
I never thought I'd have to say this in my lifetime, but don't listen to the CDC.
That is Dr. Jason Goldman after federal health officials revised their vaccine recommendations for the first time in decades. More from CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The president posted on Truth Social in all caps that kids should get their shots separately. He went into specifics about which vaccine should be given when and also reiterated his thoughts on Tylenol, saying don't ever give it to young children and pregnant women shouldn't use it either unless absolutely necessary.
The American Academy of Pediatrics is not in line with these new recommendations. A pilot is suing Boeing for $10 million over that door plug blowout 2 years ago. More from KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
Brandon Fisher accuses the company, along with Spirit Aerosystems, of causing this mid-air blowout after manufacturing failures and missing hardware. He also claims that Boeing made statements that unfairly shifted the blame onto the flight crew. The complaint was filed a few days ago in an Oregon court, nearly 2 years after the tragic incident. 4 passengers were hurt, but they all made it to the ground safely.
No comment from Boeing, which recently bought Spirit Aerosystems. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Aaron. We cleared that blocking issue finally. Southbound 405 at Sunset Boulevard there in Renton. You're still looking at a solid 7-mile backup between Bellevue and Renton. Plan on a 45-minute trip. Bellevue to Everett has improved to 45 minutes. It is still solid between Kirkland and Alderwood. Seattle to Everett is down to 40. We're slow from the U District through Linwood, but we're close to freeway speeds through most of all of this. South 5 still heavy from the U District near Ravenna in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. North 5 just past the West Seattle Bridge. A collision's in your right lane, and that's why you're backed up bumper to bumper to that Michigan curve. And in South Hill, westbound 512 approaching Canyon, it's a collision that's got your traffic backed up to the Puyallup River Bridge. Tacoma to Olympia right now is at a half hour. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at mostly cloudy skies tonight, but staying dry for the most part. Come tomorrow, though, we will see rain roll through and also snow in the mountains. Going to be blustery at times. Right now, 43 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go. Let's spin that giant wheel. Aaron has taken his name off the board for the beginning of 2026. Wheel spins, please. It's Wilcox Plenty Farm Manager Recipe Wheel. All the names of all the players are on the board. It's spinning around in red, green, yellow, blue, green, yellow. All the lights illuminating and landing on Joe. Unfortunately, I know you're in the middle of something, but
I love the Ready Pack 2-pack of Wilcox Family Farm.
It is your go-to.
Hard-boiled eggs. They're
It is your go-to.
downstairs. They cost less than a pack of Zins. Stock up.
Thank you, Joe. There's your Wilcox Family Farm Extra. Nicely done.
Talking sports with Rye.
Here we go. Talking sports with Rye. Rye Roller, the most talented young broadcaster in the Pacific Northwest today, according to Rick Riz. By the way, Rye got a big get on Saturday next week, 8 a.m. on Cozy Radio. Expect to hear Rye Curley and Rick Riz talking Mariners and sports and anything in between. So good for you, Mr. Rye Roller.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Squeaky wheel.
Yeah. Rick Riz says, Ryan, call me at 7 o'clock in the morning, wake me up, and I'll be ready to go. I was like,
yeah.
Really?
I caught him like in the middle of a lunch. It was kind of awkward.
Listen, he'll do anything he can for anybody that enjoys talking sports, especially in radio. So let's talk a little bit of sports. It was, I think, just this time a couple of days ago?
Yeah, Friday.
Okay, here we go. Hang on. I said, Ryan, I need your predictions for the game. Will the Seahawks win?
I think the Niners beat us.
Okay. All right, moving on. But I have to say,
well done, Andrew.
I have to say that
a lot of context in that game.
I said to you, what happened? You were wrong. And you said, I'm glad to be wrong. What happened on this Sunday that has not been happening in other Sundays?
Well, it's so beautiful. 13-3 doesn't even begin to tell the story of just how dominant we were. And that is the best. I know we've blown teams out this year. We blew out Washington. We blew out New Orleans. We blew out Arizona. In a lot of ways, we blew out Carolina. We have never looked better. That was the best we've looked as a team all year.
Hold on. Best we've looked as a team all year, said Ryan. What happened to him? Our side or his side?
Our side. It's going to come back.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. Hopefully he knows.
We might need to end there. That's as positive as I've heard him in weeks.
I know. Yeah. And as Ryan will probably add in there, so you had a very weak San Francisco 49ers defense, but you had a very powerful 49ers offense. And I said to Ryan on Friday, what's going to have to happen? He goes, we just have to stop Purdy. We got to put early pressure on Purdy because that guy with laser focus can take us apart. Yes, he's going up an incredibly disciplined defense on our side, but that's going to be the real match is going to be there. So can we put the pressure on Purdy? Can we slow them down? And then can we get a running game? Where's the running game? That we keep talking about the running game for the Seahawks, and there it was. So when Ryan called me on Sunday and said, listen, the running game was there. Now you see the entire offense in place. You see how we're able to pass. And once the passing game and the running game are working, then both of them are an equal threat, and the defense doesn't quite know what's coming next. So that's what he was referring to when he said that this was everything you'd seen. This is probably the best the Seahawks have played all year. Regardless of what the score was, it didn't really matter because it was really about seeing a team firing on all cylinders. And now they face most likely the Packers. The Packers will be, I guess that's the low seed, 7th seed on that one. So, Ryan, I was just sort of filling in for you on this. What you saw was there was the Seahawks running game that wasn't there for all the other games. And once that was in place, then you could see this team really firing.
Yeah, it was so different from other. We've been statistically successful on the ground in other games, not in that manner where it's dominant and it's physical. And it was on both sides of the ball where it was, I said, outside of, quote, I think the Niners beat us. I also said some other things on Friday. And one of them was we need to be violent and disciplined on defense, and we were. And then we were on offense as well. This was the best this offensive line played, and I'm sure this is the kind of game, despite it only being 13 points worth of output, that this is the kind of game that I think the whole coaching staff, offensively and defensively, are probably the most proud of, to be able to go, you know what, we haven't won a game in that manner, playing that style of football, which is the one great area where we were lacking all year. And we came out and we dominated on the ground. And we didn't ask, everyone so scared, including myself, of asking Sam Darnold to win them high leverage games late in the year. Everybody's so tentative when it comes to Darnold. Well, that's a great formula. We didn't ask Sam Darnold to do a whole lot yesterday. And it was just so wonderful to watch that defensively flying. I know it's a Pete Carroll, and as we sort of write Pete Carroll's obituary today, it's the Pete Carroll cliche, right? Flying around, the athletes. Drake Thomas, who's all of like 5'10" and maybe 215 pounds, playing weak side linebacker, strong side linebacker, just flying downhill, sticking his face in the fan, making great tackles. Nick Emenwari on the opposite end of the spectrum. He's 6'3", 240 pounds, a high draft pick. He's, identifying the screenplays, identifying halfback option, getting in there, making great open field tackles, playing really, really violently, but also legally. And it was wonderful. And that running game, Walker, able to sort of plant his foot in the ground and get uphill. Charbonnet played well, offensive line sort of clicking and firing. And it just feels so good. The amount of times we've had these big spots against the Niners, and there's all this buildup. And then Kyle Shanahan, with his scruffy beard and his sort of I don't want to be there attitude, walks out to the field in his sweatpants and just schemes up an offense and just kills us. And he's also smug about it. And then Kittle's all passive aggressive, and he's like working on his tight 20 stand-up routine in the post game. We totally disarmed him yesterday. And it's so lovely. It's not so funny when the rabbit has the gun. And the amount of times these Niners have humiliated us and made us feel like the little brothers in the relationship. And to do that in front of their crowd yesterday, to make Christian McCaffrey irrelevant in that game. It's just, it's so wonderful. And I made my prediction, and I was dead wrong. And I was proved wrong because I sort of put out sort of this ultimatum, if you will, like, you know what? You haven't done it all year. You haven't been successful being a physical and out muscling teams, running the football, helping out your quarterback, helping out your offensive line when it comes to pass blocking. And they proved me wrong. They probably proved a lot of Seahawks fans wrong. And that performance yesterday, that's a Super Bowl team right there. That's all I got to say.
I mean, if you looked at it just statistically in past performance and then judging future performance, if you took in the lack of a serious dynamic rushing team, and you said, well, if you don't bring that rushing team against the 49ers, then you could predict that the Seahawks would lose. I remember talking to Cam Chancellor once about the effects of the first hits on receivers. And he said, you establish right away, you're not coming in here, right? And that's why you talk about, violent hits. I mean, just legal, but just making that receiver think twice about how they're going to run that pattern because they don't want to be coming across. The Seahawks have got some lethal weapons now in defense that disrupt how those receivers feel about working some of those patterns. And if you keep all of that and stuff in place, possibly the Packers are the next team for us. We should be concerned because the Packers have really turned it on. They've gotten away from a lot of the injuries that they had in place. And, Matt LaFleur is working with now all the assets back where he needs them.
Wow. Look at you. Look at you.
I prep for this.
Yeah, well, the Packers, the reason I mention them is that that's kind of my bold prediction. Despite being the 7th seed, I believe they will upset the Chicago Bears in Chicago this upcoming weekend. And then if that is the case, more than likely, we will end up drawing them in the divisional round. That's 2 weeks away anyway. But, I'm definitely afraid of the Packers because I remember last year. Now, we can't compare and contrast last year to this year because I think this is a vastly better team, not only record-wise, but also just, come on, like we got eyeballs. But I remember the Packers rolled in here on a Sunday Night Football 2 years ago, and we were flying high. We kind of thought our you-know-what didn't stink, and they came in here and embarrassed us with that classic West Coast offense, kind of working it sideline to sideline and working the ball underneath. They kind of ran they exposed us that day. So I've always sort of had this lingering fear of the Packers. I still am afraid of them. They haven't been in full strength in many months. So there's that. And then also one more thing when it relates to the Niners.
Yes.
It's hard to make any broad, sweeping generalizations or conclusions when it comes to the Niners because you have to give them an excuse. They wouldn't give us one, but I will give them one. They were not at full strength yesterday, down a lot of weapons. So all of that in play, the bottom line is here, if Seattle can play that way, handing the ball off on 1st down and 10, handing the ball off on 2nd down and 3, moving up and down the field, this team is absolutely, should be, and are the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
You heard it right here, Ryan Curley on KOZI. Second cup of coffee on Saturday, making a bold prediction. And people know if he predicts wrong, he'll admit it. Be the first to admit it. So we shall see. Rye Roller, thank you. Love, love. Love, love.
Love, love.
There he goes.
Love, love. Good night.
There you go. Good night to you, too. All right. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, John, South 405 still heavy from mid-Bellevue down to the VMAC as we are in recovery mode from a recent blocking issue down there near the Renton Landing. Bellevue to Renton, about 35 to 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. Still pretty solid between Kirkland and Alderwood, but it's close to freeway speeds here. Seattle to Everett, we're down to 35 minutes. Just a little slowing still between Shoreline and Linwood. South 5 gets heavy in the U District in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle is at 25 minutes. We still have this this collision northbound I-5 just past the West Seattle Bridge. It's in your right lane, and you're sitting in a bumper-to-bumper backup now starting at the north end of Boeing Field. Got a new crash, South 5 heading through Des Moines, approaching State Route 516, blocking the HOV lane. You're backed up to South 200. That's the only backup right now between Seattle and Federal Way. And a heads up, the North 5 exit ramp to Mercer will close tonight at 9 through 5 a.m. Tuesday for tunnel maintenance. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, you take it down the Christmas decorations and maybe put them back in that closet, and you're like, oh, you're just jamming everything, jam it all in there, put the artificial tree and everything else. If the house is disorganized, it creates some stress, and you don't know where things are, and it's just generally uncomfortable. Or maybe you're thinking about selling that house of yours. You know what you could do? This would be definitely return on investment. Let's get organized. Let's put some closets in there. And if you're looking on the line and you see that, oh, there's that one place that everybody goes to, why not a local company that's been around for 22 years, that's family run, that simply does it better than everybody else? Because when they say that they're going to design, they're not coming in with a box of parts and try to jerry-rig everything in there. They are truly customized, but without the customized price. I'm talking about Closets by Design. They came out to the barn a number of months ago, and man, they did some miracle work. You get 40% off, plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. This is your ticket to having a stress-free life where everything has a place, because Closets by Design has come in and done the work. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. Their max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The John Curley Show Mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
No time, Hudson, for anything. Here we go. Letter of the day. That's it. Here comes all the rest. Joe.
Diane in the 425 says, wishing John a safe and successful surgery and recovery. Can we expect him to be out for about a week?
I'd sooner. I'm going to be on sooner, Diane, if you don't mind looking at me. Daniel Tacoma says, John, don't worry about the needle waddle.
The neck waddle.
Neck waddle. Your radio face is just fine.
Carla in the 425 says, oh my, I love having Rye on, but now I get to see those blue eyes. Oh my gosh, he's going to be such a catch with his talent in those eyes. Does he have a girlfriend? Asking for a friend's daughter.
Down. Does Rye still think the Hawks suck?
No, he's coming around. Katie Wilson, Andrew in the 509 says, John, the interview with Katie Wilson was good. Having a rapport with her means she'll be willing to come on again. All the good evangelists were more than willing to sit down and converse with somebody with an opposing viewpoint.
Jamestown in Eastlake says, this is why I enjoy the Curly Hour. The city is not responsible for work-life balance. It's not really.
Elliot on a ship in Texas says, bravo to John for having a good back and forth with the mayor. It's a proof that he can have an adult conversation with somebody he disagrees with anytime he wants. He just doesn't want to very often.
Hey.
Hey,
zing. Janet 206 says, good job, John. Perhaps you could get her to send you a stuffed unicorn.
Dwayne from the QFC says, John, you're just an all-around good guy. Your perception of reality is genuine, even when we don't agree.
That's Dwayne, our buddy, coming back again. Let's see. Great interview with here's one. Is she in the gender-neutral restroom? Mayor Madam, please take us off speakerphone. Yeah, we were trying to work out the details on that. And
she was in her conference room where they do
something like that.
Whatever.
Okay.
Ted from Tacoma says, I'd like to lay in the sand on a nice warm beach. Does Katie have a department of airplane tickets?
Ben from Mercer Island says, I'd like to revisit this interview in 6 months. Okay, Ben.
Chuck in Lake Forest Park says, I think she was 100% serious when she asked you if you deserve it.
Yeah, when I told her I make a lot of money, do I deserve it?
And now it is time for
That's a telling comment, because if it was a joke, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Jury's still out on that.
Okay. It's a haiku.
It's Jesse B with a haiku.
Oh, good, a haiku. Good.
Facelift Eve it is. Will he look well rested or... John, don't cut that face.
Just like that. Just like that. See? Somebody asked me if they're going to inject an upper lip. They don't have much of an upper lip.
No.
Again, all of this is available for people that circumcised that didn't want to get circumcised.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
She left the bloomer
hanging around.
Have fun. Send lots of video.
Some video for you, Joe. Okay, here comes Dave. Nathan!
All right, I'll miss your old face there, Johnny.
Okay, come on.
Bellevue to Renton, we're down to a half hour. We were up to 45 minutes just a short 20 minutes ago, so we're on the up and up after we cleared that blocking issue in Renton. Still heavy between Southeast 8th and the VMAC. You're not in the clear until you reach Sunset Boulevard. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. Still slow between Kirkland and Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, just 35 minutes. It's slow between Shoreline and Linwood. South 5 gets heavy in the U District. You're in the clear by the time you hit I-90. Linwood to Seattle will plan on 25 minutes. North 5, just past the West Seattle Bridge. Our collision still takes up that right lane, and you're really sitting in a parking lot starting at the north end of Boeing Field now. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, it's just 15 minutes on a wide-open 520. You'll eventually jam up there in Montlake. 20 minutes on I-90. It's heavy across the lake over to I-5. And we still have a collision in Des Moines, South 5 approaching State Route 516, but now it's blocking 3 left lanes. You're backed up to South 188. Seattle to Federal Way is back up to a half hour. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Maduro and his wife plead not guilty in New York. What's next for Venezuela?
News Nation's Leland Vittert will break down the latest.
Whatever happened to Doge, and did it really save any money?
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold takes a closer look.
Could be busy on the road. Sully will have traffic every 10 minutes.
Hope you can join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you'd say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off. I'd go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you were always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news, KIRO News